All right, guys. Welcome back to the Sane Society. You have myself, Jochik, Justman, and Jagad. Happy New Year. This is our first podcast of the new year. So this is going to be our top 10 movies of 2023. So
Let's start off with some like honorable mentions, maybe.
Yeah, we're going to start off with some honorable mentions, maybe some worst movies of the year.
Oh, actually, do the worst movies. Anybody got the worst
movie?
Anybody got the worst movies of the year?
Yeah. I'll go first.
Hit it off.
Worst movie of the year was definitely It Lives Inside. Garbage. A terrible movie. Don't watch it.
The reason I didn't watch it.
It's so bad. It had a budget of $13 million, and it was just so bad in comparison to other movies that had like not even half that budget and were just leagues beyond it. The CGI garbage. The storyline garbage. It's a horror movie, yeah. You don't see the monster till the end of the movie, and when you see it, you're like, "Oh, is this a Power Rangers villain?"
Yeah.
Terrible movie.
What would you rate it if you had to rate it?
Only redeeming quality was like the two girls in it were like pretty good actors. If I had to rate it,
Yeah.
like a 3, maybe a 2. I don't know. It was so bad.
Okay.
Like it was so bad that it was like funny. Like I was like laughing at how bad this movie was. You know.
Okay.
So then like at that point it was kind of entertaining. You know,
Okay.
It's so negative that it's positive.
Yeah.
You know?
What about you?
Let's see. Let's think about some bad. Rebel.
Oh yeah.
Say it. Just say it.
Fucking
Just say
liar.
it.
I don't think
Just
so.
say it, bro.
Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
was
Shazam
terrible.
too.
I totally forgot that came out
That's
this year.
crazy. That I wouldn't even think about it as the worst movie of the year.
Because it was fucking atrocious.
It was
No,
atrocious.
it was bad, but It Lives Inside was way worse.
I feel like we got some pretty like bad ones.
What's yours worst movie?
I was literally Expendables 4.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
It has to be Expendables.
Yeah, that was
Bro,
garbage.
I'm a big Expendables
That's
fan too. So
Yeah.
like for it to be that bad,
It was so bad.
I was looking at my ratings list. I gave it a 1, bro.
It's so bad, bro.
It has Sylvester Stallone, and I was like, bro. Honestly, that's all,
Jason
I just
Statham.
like you just need those like guys like when you have like 50 cents in it too. You know,
Yeah.
like you're like
Jason
at least these guys are
Statham.
in there. You don't even care about the story. All you care about is action.
Yeah.
Even the action wasn't good.
Yeah, the CGI was terrible.
And they had that plot twist of Sylvester Stallone's character dying and then not actually dying and coming back.
It was so unpredictable, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it actually caught me so
Yeah.
off guard.
No,
I in the movie theater said,
it
"Oh
was
my
so,
god!"
It was so.
I said, "My
badly
heavens!"
done.
Like, I was
Bro,
like, I
bro,
couldn't-
it was so badly done. Because like, had he not come back, it would have been like the one redeeming quality is that like, you know, this is the end of the Expendables franchise. He died, and they
Yeah.
had some like intimate moment
Mhm.
of him
Mhm.
dying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you're just like, man, like he's been with you guys for 3 movies, and this is all you get. You give him an off-screen death,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like barely a funeral
Yeah.
or like anything. Like it was fucking dumb, man.
Okay.
Nah, that was. We literally walked out of that like, yo, what the fuck was that?
Yep.
There was a few bad movies this year though, like Fast X.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it. That was
I
terrible.
didn't watch
The
Fast X.
Marvels.
Oh,
I didn't watch that
Didn't
either.
watch it either.
Certain things were just,
Yeah, they were just too bad.
You're
you
like,
know?
nah,
They were so
I'm
bad
not even
that
touching
I'm not
this.
even gonna watch it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some honorable mentions and
Go
kick
ahead,
it off.
Jabad.
Jugs.
Is this in order? Are we doing this in order?
No, honorable
Just
mentions.
Honorable
mentions.
mention? Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Iron Claw.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
That almost hit my top 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things I didn't like about the movie,
Mhm.
and to be fair, we watched the late showing,
Mm-hmm.
so like, but like, as I'm sitting there watching, I was kind of getting bored.
Okay. Fair. Do you have another honorable mention?
We'll come back to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna think
All
about it.
right. Dungeons and Dragons.
That's fair. That was
Oh,
ent-
that came
it was
out this year
entertaining.
too,
It
right?
was a good movie.
It was
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
You don't expect anything from a Dungeons and Dragons movie, so
Yeah.
I remember watching that. A lot of people said it was good, but I feel like it's because of not like expecting much.
That's maybe.
Yeah,
But it was just like an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, it's
you
kinda
know,
goofy.
Like, yeah.
that's fair.
I guess I'll put like Anatomy of a Fall as an
Down.
honorable mention.
Damn. Okay. It was good. Yeah, it was good enough.
It like
It was good enough.
I can't think of other movies. I'll be honest. Like other movies that
Mm.
to put in an honorable mention spot.
Okay.
You know, like the movie was not like. So this movie, for context for the viewers, other film critics and like YouTube film people were like, "Yo, this movie is fire!" Like they had it rated
Yeah.
really high. So, I went in to watch to see like, okay, what kind of movie is this? Is it like really as good as they say it is, right? And their directing is really well done. The music is good too. Like they
Okay.
took PIMP,
Yeah.
like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took that, changed it with like a saxophone and like
That's kind of cool.
like a little like island drum or whatever.
That's a vibe.
And so like that's like a soundtrack.
You
but
downloaded it.
I downloaded it?
Probably.
No, I didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't download
So you
it.
didn't like it?
It's because the way it's used in the film.
Yeah.
It's like, cause are you guys gonna watch the movie?
Probably. I still want to check it out just because the
we'll
fact that
see.
other people had it rated within their top 5. I still want to watch it, but it doesn't matter.
It was a very it's a very slow burn.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it's so slow, and the progression of everything, and like I can see why people liked the movie.
Yep.
But personally, it was too slow and too boring.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then I was like, it wasn't, and it doesn't go beyond what you think is gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard the ending falls flat. Yeah. Okay. That sucks.
That's what I mean. Like it's like,
What would you rate it?
I don't know. Like I don't know. I just watched it like a
Yeah.
couple hours ago. So like, I don't know. Like, I feel like 7 maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you have?
That's expected for you though.
What?
I feel like because the movie doesn't like make you think. I feel like it doesn't hit those upper levels.
It
to your
does
rating.
make you think though, and I can get into it.
But, like,
but
if
if
it's,
you guys are gonna
if it's
watch the movie,
expected versus unexpected.
well,
what I mean, is what I mean.
even the like, because so basically okay, like, do you know what the movie's about? You guys know what
Yeah,
the movie's about?
I do.
You know what the movie's about? Basically, this guy falls and he dies.
At the beginning.
Okay.
The beginning of the movie, and the movie's like kind of like a murder mystery, trying to figure out like unravel like how he died, right?
Yeah.
And the only people there are his wife and their son who's blind,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So then like the whole movie is like essentially them trying to dissect what happened,
Okay.
right? But then as they're like dissecting what's happening, it's like uncovering like more and more information about, because in the beginning you see the wife and you see like her relationship with the husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, yo, this is perfectly fine, like she's so normal, da da da. And then as it like starts like peeling away the layers,
Mhm.
you're like, oh shit, now there's like this aspect of it, now there's this aspect of it, right? So it basically talks about like the areas of a relationship that are seen and aren't seen, right? Like
Okay.
that's like, I guess you could say, the overall theme of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I can see why people would like, if you're in like a different stage in life, like
Uh-huh.
if
Yeah.
you were like married or had been divorced or whatever, then the movie I feel like would hit you harder.
Okay.
But like, as someone who's not in those stages of their life, it kind of was like, oh, this whatever,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. And
That's
so that's
fair.
what I mean. Like other people who probably have it in their top
Mhm.
5, I could see why it would be there.
Why it would be there.
Yeah, and like the
You kind
thing,
of have to have like a level of being able to relate. To
exactly. That's the
It.
whole thing.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Honorable mention? No, come back to me.
I was gonna spitball a couple, cause I was thinking about my list and I actually have a few that I would want to talk about.
Okay, sure.
Yes. Cause that were actually done well. Like I
You're
just thought-
talking about, or are you spitballing?
like I mean, what I mean is like that. It's worth people watching.
Okay.
It's worth people watching.
Sure,
I
sure,
probably won't
sure.
go into it like that, but it's
Sure,
worth
sure,
watching.
sure.
Okay. Throw 'em.
So we got Leave the World Behind.
Oh, you watched that? Yeah.
I watched that last night. That was actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay.
In essence, it's them uncovering, kind of similar. They're
Mhm.
uncovering what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
These guys basically go to Airbnb for vacation, and then shit's kind of crumbling around them. Like
Right.
network's not working, whatever things, and they're trying to figure out like, is it like a target attack on them? Like what's happening?
Right.
Then you have like these people claiming that like they're living in their home, and now
Right.
they have to share the space with these guys.
Yeah.
So now they're tripping out about the safety of like their kids and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
interesting.
then, and even like the way the film's broken, even like the way that the film's broken up,
Yeah.
like they're like, yo, part 1, and then section of the movie happens, then it says part 2, and then next section, and like you're going
Oh.
through it, but then at
So
the
you're like, yo, this guy just ripped off Zack Snyder. I love this movie. Zack Snyder.
no,
part
but
1, part 2,
well,
part 4.
because
Yeah.
them giving you the title
Yeah.
before that part plays.
It gives you, yeah.
At the beginning, you don't really know what it's for,
Mm-hmm.
but then once you see like the first thing, and then it kind of goes like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen?
Right.
You're like, what? Like, how is that relevant to what's happening in this next part?
Mm-hmm.
So it has you thinking about like, I wonder what it could be, and then when it gets to the end, it's a solid conclusion where you're like, okay, that makes sense. It's not some bullshit like plot twist or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was good in that sense.
Okay.
And then I got Air,
Okay.
Okay.
right, and then The Covenant.
Okay.
So that fell out of my top 10 when we did our mid-year.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna talk about it because we did talk
Yeah, we
about
did
it
talk
at
about it
mid-year.
already. Yeah.
Mid-year will be in the description, by the way.
And then last one would be, I wanna say, Rebel Moon.
Crazy.
No!
Crazy.
He did it!
You're a bot, bro. You're a bot.
What?
You're a bot, man. You're actually a bot. Yo, go sit in that.
You didn't
corner
even
by
watch the
yourself.
movie. You didn't even watch it.
I watched half of it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No,
It was half. I watched half,
that was 15 minutes of what I played.
and that was enough for me to know
Nah,
that this movie
man.
was not great.
No, the first 15 minutes were solid.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
No,
because
they
the movie
weren't.
gets more and
He
more
shoots
downhill
one
as it
robot in the head.
continues. Nah, man, you're a hater.
And then
bro.
you're like, yo,
You're a hater.
you literally
That's
showed me. You
crazy.
literally showed me the best fight scene in the
I
movie
didn't. Which was
when that girl pops off or whatever. You're like,
That's
yo,
my
pops-
favorite.
she
That's my
literally-
favorite.
like,
fight.
yo, peep.
Yo,
You're like, yo,
the
peep.
thing is,
That's
she
my favorite
pops
fight
off
scene.
in every fucking fight that she's in. She's just broken. There's never once a moment of threat for this character. It's just
Fucking
like
sick.
it's like what the fuck is up?
Bro,
Wait, you're watching her
honestly-
just yo.
Honestly, okay, I'll say this though. Rebel Moon is what Expendables 4 should have been. In terms of like, it was just coolness and like badass fights and shit. Which is what I would have wanted out of Expendables 4. It might not be what Rebel Moon should have been, because Rebel Moon should have been like a whole fucking universe.
The choreography was
But
You know.
at least
you know-
Expendables should have like done like
the
something like,
choreography was
aren't you,
eye-catching.
Like, okay, never mind.
it was eye catching. Don't tell me it wasn't.
Okay, go
There's
ahead
a
for
lot-
your honorable mention.
Blue Beetle.
Oh wow.
That's fair. That was,
It was a good movie, just came out too late.
Okay.
yeah, facts.
I
I
guess
agree.
my next honorable mention is The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Sugar.
Oh,
Okay, what's this?
It's like a Netflix release movie. It's with what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the entire movie. It's a Wes Anderson film.
Oh shit.
And so like the colors are really bright, but the way it's filmed and directed was like really dope. Like
Mhm.
it was essentially like they're breaking the fourth wall consistently. So as the movie's going on, they're narrating what's happening to you. Like they're talking to the audience like this is what's happening and like this is what happened now. And then every time they go from one area to the next,
Mhm.
they don't move. The set around them changes.
okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like
Are
like
you watching the people like put the set together?
yeah,
and shit? Oh, I see what you're saying.
essentially, like you're seeing it like go apart and like
yeah,
come
yeah,
together.
yeah. It's kind of giving like that claymation vibe, I guess.
It's almost like you're watching a play.
yeah, that's
Like
cool.
that's the
cool.
vibe it
That's
gets.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's really
And so
cool.
then the movie, like the story itself, is not anything crazy. It's just it keeps you entertained throughout the entire movie because of how everything's like moving and
Mhm.
changing. Yeah,
Okay.
Damn.
and like the brown guy from Slumdog Millionaire is in it too.
I'd put that on my list
Cool.
to watch.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now
so
top
so-
10.
So we're in our top tens, boy.
This was at the
I'm
bottom.
starting us off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's
You
look at
always
this.
got to start us off.
Okay, at number 10, I got The Creator.
Oh wow.
Just
Stay
because, did you guys end up watching it actually?
there. No.
Guys, come on.
Go ahead.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, I was busy watching
No,
Round
no.
Moon.
Well, I actually talked to people. Yeah, you did. You loved it.
Continue.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Continuing, bro.
I was
He's
just-
like, yeah, you did. Like, end of the pod.
Yo, Rebel Moon is all of our number ones. And
Yeah.
that's
No,
it, bro.
you already put it in your honorable mentions.
I only did that because I heard you say Rebel Moon.
Okay,
It's actually much higher. Anyways,
Wait. What?
so
So it's in your top 10?
we'll wait and find out.
What the
Okay, no,
fuck?
it's better than the creator.
Just wait. So
Okay, go.
okay, The Creator.
Just wait. He's his number one.
So The Creator, it's about
And drop kick him.
it's about like a dystopian world where AI is kind of taken over,
Mhm.
but it's not really like taken over, like you know, Terminator, like
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
over. They're bad.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, so the bomb happened. This is back in like the 19 something, where like it's like black and white TVs.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb happened in the States, I think in LA or something.
Yeah.
They blamed it on the AI, and since then, America's been against AI.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, all the Asian countries have like, they let the AIs get refuge, and they
Right.
kind of created New Asia.
Yeah.
And I really like the way they did this because they're showing a bunch of different like dialects and languages
Mm-hmm.
from all these different Asian countries. So like if you like they speak Hindi for example, or like Japanese or like whatever, like you'll understand that, like what they're speaking, right?
Yeah.
And then the AI aren't actually like, they're just trying to live peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not actually like doing anything. And then but America's trying to go after like this new AI technology that they created, and I think it's called like Nirmata. And the whole story is basically the main character, he is undercover in New Asia, and he's basically chilling with one of the, or I guess he's like wedded to one of the like he's married to one of the AI robots, and he's
fucking a robot.
Well, I'd be kind, like I don't know if
What
they're fucking, but like
what do you mean kind of?
like I don't know if they're
He
fucking.
clapping him cheeks.
Yeah, I don't know. But like,
Hey, he bent them over.
Or he's getting his cheeks clapped.
Boy.
but basically he's undercover because he's
It's
trying.
2024. I guess anything's
He's
possible.
trying to figure out where this like new gen
Yeah.
AI, where this new like AI weapon is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they think it's gonna like destroy the world if this thing gets released.
And it's just a
Right.
child.
And it turns out to be just a child.
Yeah.
It's very like you can figure that out with it in like the minute you
trailer,
see it.
or the trailer, right?
Or
Sure.
the
If
trailer.
you watch the trailer, I didn't watch the
Yeah.
trailer for the
Mhm.
creator like that though. But the CGI was top tier.
Yeah.
Like that was insane. My problem with the creator was how generic or not generic, but like I guess like not like over the top the story was. It was just very like
Right.
And the nice thing about it was the main character, you're seeing him go from the side of the like Americans to like, you know what, like maybe AI aren't that bad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe I shouldn't be with Americans. And then you see him eventually turn and he's like, no, fuck this. Like I'm saving the AI.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like in this dystopian world, Americans have this fucking like big ass satellite Death Star. And they can just like target AI from there and just like nuke areas.
Oh.
Right.
crazy.
So they're kind of
Wow.
going around nuking like areas of Asia to figure like wherever they can find this
AI.
weapon.
That's crazy.
Right. So then, but
And China's not fighting back.
well, none of I don't feel I don't like the way they mean the world. It's like different. So it's like
Oh.
they're like technologically advanced, but because it's in space, like nobody else has access to space.
Right.
Like
Somehow.
yeah, like
USA has
the
a
thing is, like I
monopoly
feel
on
like
space.
personally, I felt like the creator would have benefited from having like a part 1, part 2 situation,
Right.
and we've already had that from like a couple of movies this year.
Yep.
Where,
That's the
like-
common
Snyder,
theme.
But like with the creator, it's because like the stuff that's
he started it.
Mm-hmm.
no, but with the creator, like this world that they're creating, it's like you want to see more of what's happening,
Yeah.
and because the story just follows the main character, you don't get to see enough of all this cool shit that they made.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And also like that turn of events in LA with the bomb and everything, that's like you want to see how those events happen. It's kind of just broadcasted, and then it's like, oh, 5 years later, like 10 years later, and then
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the rest. Right. I want to see like that switch up happen.
Mhm,
So I feel like
mhm.
that would have been like a really cool thing.
That's
Either
true.
like make the movie longer or just split it up, and you could have had it where the essentially the intro of the actual movie where
Mhm.
the dude's undercover, and then they have like a whole raid, and he goes into like not like a coma, but I want to say he's hospitalized, and then 5 years later he's trying to figure out like what to do with his life,
Mhm.
and then they like bring him back into the mission, and they're like, yo, you know the land, we need you to go find this weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
That could have been the ending of the first movie, in my opinion.
Right.
And then you could have had the second movie like do the rest of the movie, and it would have been sick.
So what do you rate this movie?
I gave it an 8
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
because like everything was there. They just needed to do a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. You're number 10.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
That's fair. Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this one's like a little bit harder to nitpick. I think a lot of it just kind of had to do with maybe a little bit of like Mission Impossible like exhaust. Like
Mhm.
it kind of
Yeah.
becomes a little bit repetitive.
That's true.
I thought their dialogue was a little bit iffy. It like the action sequences were okay. I'm rating this a nice 7.5.
The one train the scene where he spends like 15 minutes like climbing through it.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
No.
No. Okay.
See, no. I preferred like there was that scene, and then there was the random car. You know the car chase.
car
scene?
chase scene?
Yeah.
Where she's he's cuffed with the girl.
Yeah.
That scene seemed unnecessarily so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this
The-
scene here? Whereas the train scene, I wasn't like, yo, why am I watching this? I was like, yo, like I'm entertained.
I like that they were
like
doing
it-
that.
they were going through it. Whereas the
Yeah.
car scene, I was like, yo, like just get to where you need to go already. You know?
I like both of them.
I
Because I was like, you don't normally.
The car scene was definitely a little long.
Because normally you don't really see that in movies where they spend that time doing it. Car scene was kind of just whatever, but with something unique like the train one, because it's like all collapsing.
That's what I mean.
That definitely
was
had you
good.
back
yeah,
in.
Yeah.
My issue with it though was, you know, when they fake that the girl, the dealer girl.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name, but like
Oh yeah.
when they're faking her,
Her
her eyes
eyes-
are a different color.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
change.
So the guy that's like her bodyguard should have known that's not her, because they didn't fucking change her eye color to her natural color,
Mhm,
and that's such a
mhm.
like big issue. Well, like, you know, if you're dealing with something like this,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that's like, bro, you got fucking these Mission Impossible movies is what, like the 7th one or something.
Yeah.
And
Is
these
it
guys
eight?
don't-
I
They're
know.
8th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, it was a 7.5 out
Yeah.
of 10.
but that one little thing though is the only reason I didn't even put in my top 10 or honorable mentions, because like, bro, that like rubbed me the wrong way.
Yo,
Like,
he saw different eye colors. Like,
Well,
man.
You'll
because
fuck
if
this
you can
movie.
pick it out,
Yeah.
his bodyguard her bodyguard that's been with her like all the time
Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't tell that something was off about her from
Mhm.
just looking at her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Next one. Okay.
Fair enough.
Next one. I'm gonna say Air.
Okay, you're at
Yeah,
10.
Air at 10.
What'd you rate that?
I think it's like a 7.8, 7.9.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like it's very close to being an 8.
You know,
Okay.
I had I had Air at 8.5,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't make my top 10. Like
Mm.
the reason I just had Creator over it just because, like, that new twist on AI.
All right.
Yeah.
Over to you, number
Oh,
9. Or we're
yeah.
going back to
Like,
me.
I mean, do you want to continue talking about Air? Like, why you have it at 10?
We did our mid-year movie review on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like it was like
That's fair.
it's like a movie I'd watch again. You know,
Yeah.
it did
Yeah.
feel a little bit like inspirational too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Right. So I'm like that plus like how well the movie was done. I was like,
Yeah.
it's I think it deserves to be in a top 10 spot.
For
That's
sure.
true.
For
That's
sure.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we going back this way or back to you?
Let's go back this way. Let's snake order it.
Okay. So me.
Yep.
Number 9. Creed 3.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
And what's that rating for you out of 10?
8.3.
Okay.
8.3 out of 10. I mean, we talked about Creed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
we talked about
We
few
had
of
a
these.
review, actual review,
Yeah.
and
So
the mid-year
if you
review.
guys want to check that out.
I actually don't like Creed that much.
It dropped out of my top 10.
Yeah, it was never in my top 10. But
What a hater.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh, what a hater.
what a hater.
I don't know. Yo,
Look at this guy. I got Rebel Moon at number 1.
Yeah.
How you gonna do that?
Yeah. Fucking hater.
Yo, man. Creed 3, in my opinion, was easily
Yeah.
like the worst out of the Rocky franchise.
Really? No, I liked it, man.
I'm not saying it
What?
wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't good.
What?
It just was the worst
What?
one I watched.
I don't think so.
Okay, what's worse? Which one's worse?
There's so many.
Rocky 4.
So many worse.
Was it Rocky 4? I don't know the numbers,
I
but I
don't
can
know.
tell you like
What happened?
there's the one with what's his name? His son, like
Where he's mentoring the kid,
his son, yeah, like Rocky's son.
like his actual son,
Yeah.
and what?
He like joins boxing. He's like, yo, fuck you, dad, and shit, all that stuff.
No, but that's not his actual son. That's like a guy off the streets. who's
Whatever.
like-
That one was garbage.
that was pretty good, actually.
No, that one wasn't good.
What? What? That one was actually pretty good, man.
You guys
Did
are
he
both
pick-
saying the same thing, just the opposite.
Yeah.
Nobody's explaining why or why
Well,
not.
because with that one, because like
It's been so long since I watched
so
it. too.
so here's the thing. Like I
Okay.
watched all the
Remember.
Rocky movies prior to
Yeah.
watching Creed 3.
Okay, so then you
Which is
should-
why I was like, when I watched it, when Creed 3 happened, I just was like, yeah, it just lost its like
Bro,
sauce.
the soundtrack, the fight choreography,
Well-
the Dragon Ball Z references. I'm sold.
I
the
mean,
anime references
Yeah.
the,
in
ref- the
general.
anime
and the
references are
like
cool.
the fight that they're having
But, like-
with like the just them in the arena, and
Yeah, it's
everything like
tunnel
fades away.
vision.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I liked that.
I like that.
like that was
too.
that was a
Yeah.
cool creative decision to do, but like with something like boxing, like I just wanted to see the fight like how it was. Like, they can do the slow mos in the anime, like choreography stuff. Like
mhm.
that's cool. The smoke and all that stuff just started like pulling me out of it. That's the thing I didn't like about
Mhm.
that.
Okay, sure.
But
So what's
I also didn't like that Sylvester Stallone wasn't part of it.
Yeah, that
especially-
was a little bit weird.
Especially,
but
I mean, like it makes sense why he wasn't like behind the scenes.
yeah.
But like after Creed 1 and 2, like it made almost no sense for him to not be in the story.
No, that's
I
true.
agree.
And I
We
feel-
talked about this.
And I feel like they should have figured out a way to include him in the story.
somehow.
Yeah, that's what have really like sold me on it, because it just his place there would have made a lot
Mhm.
more sense, especially
Mhm.
for Creed when, he's fighting like his, like childhood friend,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors.
and like he's
he's fighting a lot more things right now.
Yeah.
yeah. He's fighting
But,
his
like,
demons.
I just feel like having Sylvester Stallone in his corner
Yeah,
and like this guy being the world champion and like potentially losing this fight,
yeah.
it would have been like that would have been such a great moment to have there.
No, I agree.
All right, you're number 9.
At my number 9 slot, I have Saltburn.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah. They're like the same, bro. Except with Rebel Moon.
Hey, man.
So,
Alright.
I didn't. I was just in the middle of watching Saltburn.
I rated it at 8 out of 10, though.
8 out of 10. Let me check mine. I give it 8.5.
You could sway it up higher.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I was kind of wishy-washy with it, but like
yeah. I felt like it was kind of predictable.
it was. Yeah, okay, I could say that too for sure.
Yeah.
Because like you could tell how manipulative the main Barry was.
Yeah, for sure.
So you could kind of tell, and even from before, one of his other friends at school is like, kind of telling or talking to him about how like, oh, like, you know, live for once, like be a human, like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
things. So from there, it's kind of a telltale that he's like,
He wants things.
yeah, like he's like very like goal focused, and
Yeah.
he doesn't make friends just to make friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then as you're seeing like stuff happen, you're like, nah, this is like not a coincidence. Like shit's going down. Like he's doing
Yeah,
something.
he's pulling
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
And he's a
pulling some
fucking
strings.
weirdo too.
Bro, he slurped up the cum out of the bathtub.
Yo, he's a fucking weirdo.
Spoiler.
You got
That's
yo.
fucked.
The scenes are
That's
like
fucked.
weirdly like
Wait.
graphic.
That's
and
By the way, complete spoiler for everything.
Yeah, we didn't preface.
watching
Yeah,
Saltburn.
spoilers for every movie we're talking about.
So with Saltburn, like I didn't know what to expect out of the movie. 'Cause when
Yeah.
I watched the trailer, I was like, why do people care about this movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And
And
then-
then as we got into it, like at the beginning, I'm like, whoever directed it, amazing job.
Good job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
job. Like that. I was actually thoroughly entertained. Even though there was like some weirdness happening, I was just like, dude, like this is my attention was focused the
Yeah.
whole time. And then personally, like just knowing that like how crazy Barry was going with his acting,
Mm-hmm.
that just kept bringing me in. I was like, no way this guy's doing this right now. Like what? Like you know that scene where he's at the grave?
Okay.
That
Yeah.
wasn't part of the thing.
Wait, when he fucks.
When his best friend basically dies and he's at the grave and he's like basically like
He's fucking. the
yeah,
grave.
I guess he's fucking the grave, yeah.
He pulled his dick out and he starts fucking the
When he's
ground.
yeah, and he's like fucking like rubbing up against the fucking ground and shit.
He pulled his dick out and he fucked
Like,
Mother Earth.
Bro, he's a fucking weirdo.
he
man.
he fucked Mother Earth.
But anyways, when he's doing that, he
Crazy.
he had to tell everyone to leave the set.
No way.
Like, he was like he's like yo, like let me get in my element. Like he's like yo, everyone fucking leave.
Yeah, because he had to pull his fucking dick out and start fucking Earth.
And I'm like that's fair because like that's a fucking weird ass scene. Like
I don't know how the fuck.
how do you
did that.
how do you like keep your composure for that, right?
But how do you do the fucking bathtub scene with composure too? Because he
that's gross
slurps
too.
it.
That's fucking.
And he
gross
slurps
too.
it again.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That shit was disgusting.
Like and like the way the intro for the movie is, it's like
It shows everything.
it's after like it's at the end of the movie.
yeah,
The end of the
yeah,
movie is
yeah,
the beginning
yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie shows everything.
Because he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and like you don't really realize it as you're going further into it.
I mean, I realized it right away.
Okay, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like he's like narrating the story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I guess you kind of do, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole time he's saying like yo I loved him. Like he's always saying like yo I loved him, and like you could like he's a fucking weirdo. He loved him. Like you could tell like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it wasn't out of like the malice of his heart, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But like as I'm watching the movie, you know, like I'm like seeing all this manipulative shit he's doing, and I'm like, bro, I bet he's at that coffee shop just because he knows that the girl's gonna show up there. And then they do like that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
They do like that whole pan at the end of the movie of like every moment and how it happened.
And he was just typing
And he-
gibberish.
and he's literally just there because he knew the girl was gonna be there.
He was sitting at his
Yeah.
laptop at the coffee shop, and you look at his screen, and he's just typing nothing.
Yeah, like he's on Microsoft Word and he just
Just-
has like the first 4 like sentences just randomly typed
and
up
then, yeah, he's just
because he's just
clicking
waiting
shit.
for her to notice him so
Yeah.
he can start the conversation and like
yeah, yeah,
continue the rest of his plot.
yeah.
Crazy.
Actually,
Yeah.
though,
So
I guess back to you.
no.
Wait, would you
snake
rate
order. It's
I
snake
give
order.
it 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah,
It's back at you because we had the same.
we're the same.
Right.
We're starting here.
it's
Oh,
snake
yeah, yeah,
order,
we're
so it's
starting.
you again.
Oh, my
And
fault.
then it comes back this way. Come on, guys.
I got Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Okay.
and like this,
Oh, word.
That's me too.
I also gave it an 8.5. I
Did you
didn't.
forget about
I
that
forgot about that movie.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I kind of did too, but then it was in my mid year, and I looked at it, and I was like, yo, that was a good movie. I just didn't know where to put it, like either above Saltburn or like wherever, because like it's been so long since we've seen it.
Fuck, that's an
But it was-
honorable mentions now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, it
That
was a good
great
movie. My
yeah.
dumbass forgot about it
Yeah.
though.
And then I
Fuck.
was just recently looking at like a interview with Bradley Cooper, the guy
Yeah.
that plays Rocket,
Right.
and he's talking about how like they'd basically do scenes with James Gunn going through the script of all the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would do his part, right? And then he was like, it was kind of fun the way he played Rocket, because like all the characters had like their specific lines that they had to do. Like they were kind of not like restricted in what they had to do, but like that, like the lines they had were the lines they had.
Right.
Whereas once they did that,
Mm-hmm.
that's like the first round of his recording.
Mm-hmm.
They'd go back and then he would start like improvising and adding
Right.
shit in.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, we also did a review on this, so you guys can just check it out.
that's true.
Yes,
We did
sir.
like
Yeah.
an actual Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
movie review.
Yes, sir. Of course.
What did you rate it?
8.5.
8.5 as
Yeah,
well. Okay.
I like that. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Shizume. So
Suzume the Door.
yeah.
Mm.
Damn, that didn't leave your top 10.
No, it's a great movie. Soundtrack. I still listen to this fucking soundtrack to this day.
The soundtrack's
I listen
sick.
to
The
soundtrack
soundtrack's
too.
sick for
Yeah.
sure.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Have you heard the live performance for it?
You were telling us about
no,
that.
Yeah,
no,
crazy.
Live performance.
That just slaps, bro.
Shit, man. I didn't expect you to listen to a live performance. That's actually crazy. Because when you think about listening to like a live performance, like orchestra, you're like, okay,
yeah.
like the composers that you're used to,
Mhm.
you would want to go and look at. But like for Suzume to do that in like within a
But
year,
it was a bang.
yeah, it was a banger. It's got bangers for sure.
I rated it a 8.3 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Why like not a 9 or a 10? Like what wasn't there for you?
There's just like moments where like I'm just not there. Like as in like the enjoyment isn't always there.
Like the adventure's not. Yeah, it isn't.
It's the adventures and just not always adventuring.
Yeah.
But then it'll bring you back in, and like obviously there's like the soundtrack, the voice acting, the animation, and everything
Yeah.
that brings you back in. But then yeah, there's just those moments.
Did you guys get a chance to watch The Boy and the Heron?
Sadly, no.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you had a similar experience with that.
Is that in your top 10?
No, it
Why isn't it honorable mention then?
because it wasn't good
Doesn't
enough for
Rebel Moon.
honorable mention.
Is
Rebel Moon made it
worse
though.
than
The-
Rebel Moon?
Rebel Moon made it
Okay,
though.
okay. Rebel Moon technically wasn't even part of the honorable mention. I just had to mention it.
Okay,
But
It wasn't gonna get mentioned at all.
it wasn't.
Fuck, why did
I just
do
had to
that?
mention it because you were bringing it up. But The Boy and the Heron, like it got pretty overhyped.
Yeah.
I obviously like the voice acting and the animation was sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's expected. But the actual adventure itself, you're just again like you feel like what am I watching? Like
Mhm.
and for Suzume like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But with The Boy and the Heron, like you can they have a really strong start where this guy, his mom works I think at a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and a fire happens and the
Mhm.
whole like
Mhm.
mom dies in the fire. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is gonna start with like this guy reeling from some trauma because he's a little
Right.
kid.
Yeah.
And then he's with his dad and they move to another village, and he's got like a new wife
Mm-hmm.
and she looks almost exactly like his mom,
Wild.
right?
Wait.
It's almost like they're drawn by the same creator.
No, like no, but like I mean like the kids, like the kid. I'm not saying like I'm saying it. Like the kids, like oh that girl looks like mom,
Yeah.
right?
Let me fuck her.
Like okay. But basically, he's like you could tell that we're gonna see how he like adapts to this life,
Right.
and the whole adventure is kind of supposed to convey him coming to terms with his mom's death,
Mm-hmm.
because he's kind of like this. So the adventure, he goes through like a door. It's a whole another, it's like Spirited Away type of
Right.
vibe,
Yeah.
Right.
whole different world, and then you're expecting him to like learn shit through his adventure, and you do get a little pieces of it, but I feel like the actual adventure just like strays away from what the actual goal was,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then you find out at the end that like this world was created by like his great grandfather,
Yeah.
and that there's like little building blocks, and this is what's holding the world together, and the kid's supposed to be the successor to that world. So he's like this is where it's safe because like outside's chaos and stuff.
Mhm.
And then at the end of the movie, he's like, I don't want to be stuck here. I want to be out there, and like because he's ready for that chaos. Like he'd rather be out there with his family and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that progression from like him wanting to stay in the world and going to like, no, I want to like live. That like you don't actually like. There's no actual flow to that. Like how you like got there.
But the way you're explaining it is like he's escaping. Like that world was escapism.
It was
for him.
escape. It was escape
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. And the thing
And
is,
that's what you're thinking as you're watching
Yeah.
it. But they don't do a good job of like telling that.
Mhm.
That's like that was like me guessing from like when you saw the beginning, and then
Mm-hmm.
and as he's in that world, you're seeing like the past versions of his mom
Mm.
and like one of his like grandmas, I think.
So this seems almost like
So it's like
Go
yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but and he becomes like best friends with his mom when his mom's like a kid.
Okay.
and his mom's like this fire princess.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of like dreamt up of like a way that his mom controls fire. So because she died in a fire, so she's like
Right.
he's like trying to he's like dealing with his grief, and like you can see like a
Yeah. So it's
shit
like,
like
it's his imagination that he's doing to deal with his grief.
Yeah.
Of, like his mom.
yeah. And then at the end of the thing, they're like, you're gonna forget everything about this world if you decide to leave, type of thing. And then
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I probably gave
that,
like a 7.
right, but it's a top 10 movie review. So just went on a whole tangent
I'm
about
sorry,
this
I'm
movie.
sorry,
That's
I'm
not even
sorry.
in the top 10.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because Robert Pattinson was voicing.
You should have mentioned it in your honorable mention, bro.
Yo.
Like,
I mean, like the makings were there. Like I think they had.
anyways.
Continue.
Bro, okay.
It's you?
I was my number 8, or is it number
8.
7 now? 'Cause
8.
I agreed with you. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the
3.
Galaxy? Okay, 7.
Yeah. So number 7, I would do Past Lives.
Damn. I was gonna mention that for honorable mentions, but I was like, this guy, if he didn't mention it, it's in his top 10.
So, have you seen the movie Past Lives?
No.
And you watched it.
I watched
and
it.
you didn't like it, right?
Not that I didn't like
Um,
it. It's not that I didn't like it. It just wasn't.
So Past
10.
Lives is a Korean film that came out earlier this year, and essentially it's about this guy, and this girl who like grew up together, went through like grade school, like like maybe grade 5, and up until that point they were like best friends, like chilled with each other every single day, like they were like, oh yeah, what'd you get on your test? What'd I get on my test? Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Best friends.
Like best friends, and then her parents decide to move to New York,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of like
Better job opportunity.
like yeah
shit,
and everything, right? And so it like splits them apart, and then years go by, they grow up.
This is also
and-
back when like they didn't have like phones or anything.
Yeah.
So he had like no way of like contacting her.
Right. So
Okay.
years go by, they grow up, and then he like sees her on Facebook, and then he like
Yeah.
starts chatting with her again, right? And so essentially, like what the movie is him trying to constantly try and reconnect with her,
Mm-hmm.
but like the timing of both their lives is just not adding up,
Yeah.
right? And then eventually it gets to the point where the timing is right, but she's now married.
Yeah.
She's now married to this guy
Okay.
in New York, and she has like a life.
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes to like see her
It's
Yeah.
pretty sad.
in New York. Yeah, like it's pretty sad, and it's like this entire time he liked her, like he loved her and stuff, right? And then he goes there to New York and to kind of get closure,
Yeah.
and in doing that, she realizes that she still has feelings for him,
Okay.
right? But then because she's married and because of how her life's going,
Yeah.
nothing comes of it, and
Right.
it's just like kind of talks about how like in life,
Just closure.
well closure, but also like sometimes you don't always get a happy ending.
Okay.
Like things happen in life, and people that you think are meant to be don't end up together, right?
Sure.
And the thing is, in the movie they talk about this Korean concept called unyan, where it's like
Basically past lives.
but it's basically past lives, but the way it is like your lives like interconnect, right? Like maybe you were in
Like in a past life, maybe you would have like walked past somebody and brushed up against them.
yeah.
so that's one thread,
Yeah.
right? And then
okay.
eventually when those threads overlap to like enough point, that's when you guys like meet and
Meet.
become like how you're
Something.
supposed to be, right? And so then it kind of like gives you this hope of like, okay, maybe in their next life
They
they could be
Yeah.
together.
'Cause that's
Yeah.
So it's like
And so the movie kind of leaves you like unfulfilled
yeah.
because
Okay.
it doesn't happen, and but it's
kind of,
it's
but
to,
not really.
but it's to show like this is life,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know? Yeah.
Because I
And
like
what did you rate it?
What did I rate? Guardians 8.5.
It's your top
Oh,
5.
okay. No, I have to remember. 8.7.
okay.
8.7.
I would have given past lives like an 8.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Like it
Okay.
was. Personally, for me, I felt like it
It was also the director's first movie, by the way.
Oh, that's sick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I felt like it was boring at like just at times,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't like a big deal or until like the ending is where it kind of like saved the film. Because at first I was like, do I even want to finish this? But then at the
Mhm.
end where, because what y'all just talking about of how she starts having feelings
Yeah.
as you're through like 90% of the movie, it kind of feels like she's moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she talks about with her husband. She's like, yo, like he's totally different. Like he's so like his mindset's so like Korean because he
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
grew up in Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas she grew up as like a American.
Yeah.
So her values are totally different, and she's having like this conflicting thing of going back and forth. Like, one is she's like, I feel like I'm not even Korean because of how different we are. But at the same time, I feel like I'm like,
Like connected to him.
reconnecting with the Korean side
Yeah.
because and her husband's white, right? But then at the end when like they have like their final goodbye, and he's like, I'm going back to Korea. she like she walks away and she goes to her husband, and she just starts like bawling her eyes out basically.
Yeah.
And cause like the whole time you're sitting there like, bro, like this guy, like he really feels like they were perfect here, like they were like meant for each
like
other.
you're rooting for him.
It's
The
just
entire
it's just
movie
like
you're
it's like
rooting for him.
life didn't pan out the way it would have.
Yeah.
And then like the whole time I was sitting like I wanted something from her,
Mhm.
and that something was her bawling her eyes out, because like she really felt by the end of it like that could have been us.
like even the way the movie starts with like all three of them at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the main guy, the girl, and her husband,
Uh-huh.
and somebody else.
that was a great intro.
Somebody else is narrating it,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, who do you think these three people are? Like, are these two husband? Are
Yeah.
these two? Are they just friends?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
all three of them friends? Right? And it, like you're already thinking, where's this movie
Yeah,
gonna go?
like it was
And
a-
that scene of them at the bar is like the scene near the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it was a really great movie. Like
It
the only
was.
reason it didn't touch my
Yeah.
top 10 is because there's other movies that are just as great.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're number 7.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Number 7.
Wow.
Bro, I'm gonna call Keanu Reeves and he's gonna fucking box the fuck out of you or something. man.
Okay.
Like
I
what?
stand by. Is that-
Number
what?
7.
Is that what did I rate it? Hold on.
Nah, bro.
I mean, we have a review on.
We do
John
have
Wick
a
8.5.
Okay.
Well, what the hell, man?
All right.
Shit happens,
Go
bro.
with you on number 7.
I'm interested.
Like-
Like I'm interested. I want
like-
to see what's next for you. Type
You
of
know,
thing.
it's one of those things. Like I said, when we reviewed it, it was
Yeah.
good. It's a lot of action, but then there's just some stupid ass moments where like, okay, well this could have been done different. This could have been done different. Had this
I guess
person
that's
done this,
fair.
it's like
Yeah, but
'Cause
I mean,
wait,
the
well, if
fight
you-
choreography, the shots, the soundtrack,
Everything was great,
Everything
but
was, it was such a like well done movie. It's just that scene, bro. Like
Yeah.
you know
It's
what
just
scene?
the
You guys know
one
scene?
stair scene, man.
No, no,
That's
there's
about
a
it.
stair scene
too.
That's
yeah.
But
really, that's really the only one scene for me.
No, the top. But like I'm talking, which scene was like stood out for me the most in terms of like I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Was the top down view.
Oh,
In-
for
That's
sure.
what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like,
I think every action scene was so perfectly
Yeah.
unique
yeah.
that like I didn't care about any of it. Like it was literally just a stair thing that I didn't like.
Yeah.
the stair thing. And
That was
like,
the one thing.
again, like his like death at the end. Like there's like a few things that like I could pick out.
Anyways, so what do you give it 8.5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, you're number 7.
I got Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
And I
What'd you
also
rate
I also have that as at a 8.5. Like I'm still within my 8.5s right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly everything you'd want out of like a Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah.
There's like the story that they chose wasn't it wasn't some BS. Like it's
Mhm.
not just like a save the princess. Like it was pretty cool the way they introed it in. Like
Yeah.
Mario and his brother, like they're the actual plumbers in real life,
Yeah.
and then they get like sucked through the warp tube, and then
Right,
they go
right.
into like the land, right?
Yeah.
And even Princess Peach was a baby that also someday just ended up in that land. And Bowser's like, the reason why he's going after Peach is because he has like a crush on her,
Yep.
Mhm.
right? And it's like,
Jackpot.
and like you're kind of like, that's fair because like, why is he always trying to steal Peach? Like for what purpose? Like in all the games,
Mhm.
like why was he just trying to steal
Yeah.
Peach to do like just do nothing with her?
He was just trying to
Yeah.
smash.
Yeah, he's trying to smash. Like,
Trying to
and he's like,
smash.
yeah, but like, I feel like they naturally included every reference they could have
Mm-hmm.
for like Super Mario, like the world.
Yeah.
That like it didn't like it didn't feel forced. Like there was like a scene where they're Mario and Luigi are running to like their next gig,
Mm-hmm.
and you know like the way like the original Super Mario games were, where like you're watching them go and the backgrounds are moving,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know when they get to the flag, and you do the jump,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like the screen just stays there,
Mhm.
and then Mario runs off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally how they did one of the scenes. Like
That's sick.
they're running through like this
Yeah.
construction thing, and he jumps in like he's jumping over a fence and doing all this shit, and then he hits the pole and he goes down, and then he just walks off screen, and then it shifts to the next screen.
Oh, nice.
So
Cool.
then there's like parts with like Luigi's mansion,
Yeah.
like it's literally like if like you grew up with this shit, like you saw references everywhere,
Yeah.
and like it was just like a really great like animated film.
What would you rate it?
8.5.
8.5. Okay. Word.
Yeah, and then they even had like the ending was Yoshi's egg
Mm.
cracking,
Yahoo!
Okay.
so potential for the whole universe to like
Yeah.
open up.
Back at you, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's a double.
Yeah. You're
We're
number
doing
6.
a double over here. I got Barbie.
Hello, Barbie.
I got
Come on,
Barbie.
Let's go, Barbie.
And the reason why I have Barbie in my top 10 and not what you want me to have in my top
No,
10
it's fine. That's fine.
Wait. What's the
No,
problem?
We'll talk
don't
about it.
worry.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
is because like I think with Barbie, like we did already talk about it during our mid-year,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a movie that you can enjoy it when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
and then as you get older you can kind of grow with the movie, and then when
That's true.
you watch it again as you're older, you'll understand the themes that it was actually trying to like address.
That's true. It'll have
Mhm.
like
Right.
they'll have meanings with it in every stage of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
that's like the true like test of time for like a classic, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Right. So I mean, we'll see as time goes, but like that's definitely a movie I'd want to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Okay, so my number 6 and number 5 are tied. Number 6?
I don't know, man. That's a pretty big jump. You can't.
No,
you-
it's 5
you
and
can't-
4.
you
No,
can't- Okay.
Right now? No, 6, bro.
No, Barbie was 6 for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're on 6. And then I have to do 6.
am I high? 1, 2.
You're funny.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, yeah. So yeah, my number 6 and my number 5 are tied
Okay.
at the same rating.
Okay,
Right.
that's fair.
But so like it could be interchangeable.
I mean,
I'll just
half
say-
of mine were like same rating.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like how it felt with me.
Mhm.
So I'll just say this one for now, Iron Claw.
Okay.
Okay.
As a wrestling fan, it was great to see like the kind of like an origin
Mm-hmm.
end of like wrestling where like it was very new.
That's fair.
You had a bunch
Yeah.
of these like smaller organizations that were then it all became one, right? Like we have WWE now.
Bro, but like, didn't the movie just feel so fake?
What do you mean?
Like the wrestling was just so fake.
Wrestling is always fake. The fuck is he on?
So,
So it was slow, but
Mhm.
fuck, those tragedies hit. Like, yo, to understand that like
Mhm.
this is a biopic and like
Mhm.
this person's literally lived every
Yep.
stage of his life,
Yep.
losing a family member,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
like they preface in the beginning of the movie that like this guy like has like that big brother syndrome,
Yep.
Yeah.
where like he loves his little brothers so much.
Yep.
Second brother syndrome.
Well, 'cause like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he had like
yeah,
his one brother that died at like younger
Yeah,
age,
yeah.
and like now he's like he like wants to like love and protect these people so much.
Mhm.
And yet, because of the way that like life has gone and like
Yeah.
wrestling has gone, like that
Yeah,
culture,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
way that the dad has
Yeah.
pushed them, and the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mom is the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mom was
Yeah, yeah.
like it pushed all of his like little brothers to like kill themselves essentially,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like that's fucking crazy. Like literally, like imagine that like that thing. Like he's coming home, and he hears a gunshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
He walks around the
That's
house.
wild. That
and his
scene
brother's
was
dead at a
wild.
tree.
That scene was wild,
Yeah.
bro. That scene was fucking wild,
crazy.
bro.
Dude,
What do you
the,
guys-
the
I wanna-
mom
I
was
wanna- I wanna
fucking
talk more
brain
about
dead.
it, but I know Dotchik has it somewhere in his top 10. I don't know where he has it.
The mom was
But I
fucking
kinda wanna
brain
wait.
dead, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like finally one of the kids opened up to her and was like,
Mhm.
"Yo, I need help," and she goes,
Not my
"Yeah,
problem.
Jesus loves you,
Yeah.
and it's not
She's
my
like- and
problem."
And she's like, if it's a problem, deal with your brothers.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Wait, so what did you rate?
Those are parts I didn't like about it, though.
What did you rate it?
I'll talk about why it's not in my top
8.7.
Okay, word. My number 6 would be Talk to Me.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, we
We already
I
talked
think
about
we
it.
already
We talked
talked
about
about it.
it.
So yeah, it was a great horror movie. I can't think of a horror movie that stood out as much as this one has in the last
Just
recent years.
yeah, for
know what I mean?
sure. I agree.
So, and especially the fact that it had a $3 million budget where It Lives
It Lives
Inside had a
Inside.
fucking $14 million budget. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding
So
me?
like, Talk to Me, Talk to Me was like good, but like, out of like what I want from like a horror, I want to be fucking terrified, and I didn't really get that out of this movie.
but like, do you get
Mm.
do you get terrified from horror movies?
not really.
So then you're asking for
Yeah.
something that's not achievable.
At this
but
point,
like, I want to be pushed to it.
Like,
You
you
know,
know,
like at least
I-
pushed to attempt.
I
to do
liked
it.
I like that the decisions that they made sense
yeah.
given their characters.
And
Sure,
also,
sure.
and also,
And that, like, in most horror movies, they don't make rational.
and,
Yeah.
al-
You
and
know what I
also to
mean?
go back to what you were saying, they did have those moments of like overall like creepiness,
Yeah.
like kind of like I guess like edging you there.
Yeah, yeah. And the
I
thing is,
guess,
they
yeah.
use the music to do it so well.
Yeah.
Or like the
Yeah.
loudness and the quietness.
Yeah.
Right?
And-
Like that
and they
shift. Like, I feel like other horror movies use like it's other people or like the demon or whatever the fuck
I mean,
is
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
But they don't use the loudness and the quietness of things.
okay.
know?
they don't use that too well.
Yeah, and this movie used it so well.
And also like a lot of horror movies, like really what gets people is just jump scares, right?
Yeah.
So like they had I think only a couple of jump scares in this movie,
Mhm.
but like it was again like I'm coming from a place where like I don't really get scared as much,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
like
I
you
guess
almost have
that's
to
true.
watch the movie for you to judge how scary it is. You almost have to watch it by yourself in the basement, lights closed.
No, 'cause even,
Every-
like-
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to feel like you're by yourself because when as soon as
yeah.
you're with people, you might feel
No,
like
because even like people that we watched the movie with, they were genuinely scared when they
Yeah.
watched it, and because they get
So-
scared from movies. you
Yeah,
know?
but like
Yeah.
but the best comparison that I have is like when I got into like the Conjuring series for the
Yeah.
first time. Like I watch it at home in my room.
you're
yourself.
younger.
not
you
that
by
much
yourself?
younger. Like at that point, I was already like kind of past horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And like I think the first one kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, yeah.
The second one creeped me out.
They did, yeah.
Annabelle,
Annabelle Creation.
Creation
Annabelle
creeped me
Creation.
out. So like like those are like my kind of like standards
Standard,
of like
yeah,
what
yeah.
can like scare
Yeah,
me
yeah,
or like creep
yeah,
me
that's
out.
fair. That's fair.
The thing is though, with those type of movies where you have this overwhelming evil
Yeah.
that like people are like they can't do anything but run away, and you're kind of watching these guys struggle to run away from.
Yeah.
It's just hopeless.
Well, it's not that it's hopeless. It's that you kind of know how either the ending they all die, or like you know that they're gonna exercise whatever spirit it is, and that's
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
true.
and that's something that's like very
predictable.
especially with now that because this is after Conjuring universe has
Yeah,
become
yeah.
so expansive, right?
Yeah.
Like Nun 2 came out this year.
Yeah.
It was not good.
It was
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
No, I
Right.
agree.
So it's
But
like
neither
and
was
that's a
Nun 1.
movie that like that's within that universe, and it still couldn't give you that like fear factor.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Right.
like I think that also comes down to the fact that like the Nun is like some like random story that they're just trying to tell. It's like quote unquote creative, or like everything else that
Yeah.
they've done has been kind of
Well,
pulled from like scenarios that these
Mhm.
people have like
yeah.
quote unquote
Mhm.
lived
Because
through.
the Nun's like it's layered in from like what they established in The Conjuring,
Yeah.
right? Like with the guy who
But
they
that-
did the first exorcism with in the movie when they show like the
But even
recording.
but even
That's
the
the
Nun,
guy from the Nun 1 and 2.
but even the Nun, like the character,
Yeah,
it's just something that James Wan put in
they
there
just threw it in there.
to just like layer in the story
To
for like
give some
future
lore
use.
and
Yeah.
science. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The movie was not good.
Yeah. So talk to me. I'd give it a 8.6.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you with Talk to Me at the same level here.
Like you're saying it's well.
At my number, this is number 5.
It was my number 6.
Well,
Oh.
spoilers, dummy.
So now it's my number 5.
What's your number 5,
Okay.
boy?
Spider-Man.
Number 5,
true,
Across
true.
the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Well, this is number 5.
Sheesh.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
You guys are wild. Nice.
I rated it 8.7 as well. Like I said, it
I
was
would say
tied
yeah.
with my Iron
I
Claw.
would say like 8.7.
It was a good movie. Like I'll give it this. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's enjoyable.
Mhm.
Again, like it's I guess because it's like a part 1 of a part 2 story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It
my,
kind
that was
of
my
falls
biggest
off
issue.
at
That
the
was my
end,
biggest issue with the
But
movie.
at the same time, I do agree that like because you guys had this conversation like kind of like without me.
Yeah.
It's like at that point I hadn't seen it. I don't think it's too much of a problem that it's
I
like
don't think so
it's
either,
it
'cause
ends
Because they do a good job of
because like
giving you enough meat in the movie. To
yeah,
but
because
if
like the
it,
first
like-
like this part 1 is really like Miles's like origin and stuff is sprinkled in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but a lot of it is like Gwen's story,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like
And you didn't
I
get
can
that in the first
appreciate
one.
and I can
Yeah.
really appreciate that
Yeah.
because like and like the story that they told for her was like it was good.
But I feel like they could have cut it off earlier. You know what I mean? In the film,
Where?
like when
Where would you have wanted that?
when he escapes from all of them.
Oh, like right before like when he's like right before he's locked up, or like chained up to that fucking punching.
Yeah,
bag thing?
yeah, yeah,
Or just end it like right there.
yeah. That would have been a good spot to end, and then I'd be like, oh shit, like so much more is gonna
Like
happen.
what's gonna happen next?
Exactly.
That's like
But
that's
then-
like a
but then-
5 minute
But
like.
then they add that, and then they add like the build up of everything coming, and you're like, okay, word. Like I guess this movie's not ending, and they're like, nah, let me
yeah,
just
that's
blue ball
fair.
you.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Because that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
end too. Once he
yeah.
actually like got away from
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
I was looking at the
exactly.
runtime and I'm like thinking like, okay, it's already
Yeah,
like this late.
yeah.
It should end now.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
So-
I don't
yeah.
know. I thought it was good. It was
The
well
soundtrack
done.
was fire though.
The soundtrack's
Yeah.
fire. I thought like I thought again the way it ended was okay. It really leads you into like the next movie like oh shit like
Mhm.
here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time it ends at like I think a good spot to where you're not like thinking it's an incomplete movie. I would say.
Yeah.
I felt that though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead. You're number 5.
We know it already.
No,
Rebel Moon.
I thought it. No,
Oh, sorry.
I thought my 5 and 4. I like maybe like you could persuade me into interchanging them.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have Godzilla -1 at 5.
Oh damn.
I'm gonna give it a rating of a 9.
Okay.
Oh, we're in the 9s now.
My ratings have been higher since we started the 10s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
lowest was at 8. So
That's true.
Godzilla was great. Like the only thing stopping it from being a 10 out of 10, like it's easily the best Godzilla film for sure.
Mhm.
The only thing stopping it was I didn't like how mechanized Godzilla felt when he was walking, and you had his like arms like literally going like this. I was just like, bro, like you, cause like where is that elbow flexion, bro? Like what do you, like it just, things like-
Godzilla never really had elbow flexion.
but like no, but like like he just he felt
there was only one scene where I felt like it was mechanized, and it was the scene in the
I saw it constantly. Like as soon as he was
Nah.
out of water,
I don't think so.
I saw it constantly. So I'm telling you what I saw.
And I'm just saying I don't think so.
But this like that's what took me out of the
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
Cause like going from like, cause the way it started,
Yeah.
peak, that shit was crazy. That like I hadn't felt like this shit kind of like brought me back to my childhood. The way that intro went,
Yeah.
like I didn't feel something like that. Like Jurassic Park 3, like we had this shit on
Yeah.
VCR, man.
Yeah, yeah.
The way the intro of like Jurassic Park 3 was when they're fucking
Yeah,
flying the
yeah.
kite and then like
Yeah.
some shit nicks their fucking thing and then they're fucking dead. Like I wonder what's happening. Like,
yeah.
you're kind of like
yeah.
almost scared for these guys, right?
Yeah.
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 And then like the build up has like the same thing. Like there's like their first interaction with like Godzilla,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it gave me that same type of fear of when like they first interact with a dinosaur.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when like the planes on the
Right,
runway
right,
and they're like get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they like barely survive.
yeah.
Same. It gave me those same vibes, and I was like, that's
So-
just, like
Yeah.
that put my expectations like so high.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when I saw Godzilla like continuing into the story, that shit started pulling me back out,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I kind of expected that, because as we're going in the movie, I was telling you, I was like, yo, it's their CGI or like VFX is
yeah,
probably where
no,
it's not gonna hold up
100%.
that well.
100%.
So like it wasn't like a major
Mhm.
major issue. The reason why I dropped to like a 9 for me though is because of the way it ended. Because his
I can agree with that.
Okay.
The
like
girl.
should I talk about it? Yeah. Like the way that girl being alive, coming out of a coma.
It's because you're a tragedy horn dog.
Yeah, that's
And
also
midway through the
true.
movie, this guy's like just frothing at the
First
mouth.
of all,
And he's like, oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
First of all,
He's like, oh my god.
First of all, you guys both put Iron Claw in your top 10.
Okay, I swear,
Yeah.
I swear, if we
Yeah.
didn't sit here for 2 hours having a conversation about Rebel Moon would have been in your top 10.
No, it wouldn't have actually.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
the-
Anyways,
Bro,
the
even
ending-
when we had that conversation, what did I rate it? Not even an 8.
You're bored.
Not even an 8.
So
My
this is
lowest
your
was an 8.
this is your
Come on.
5, Juan?
This is my number 5.
Okay. So then what's your number 4?
Number 4 was gonna be Talk to Me, because Talk to Me was a 9.4.
Wow.
Because those issues for Godzilla, like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like the only issue for Talk to Me is you could say was the scariness factor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Yeah.
something like that's like as you're getting desensitized, like it's so hard for you to for me to criticize a
Right.
horror movie on that,
Right.
right? So that's why I was kind of just like that doesn't mean as much to me, because like everything was there,
Mm-hmm.
and again you said like the people around us were getting scared, so that's enough for me to like understand like it is scary
Okay.
to other people. Right?
Well, like something that I could kind of quickly like relate Talk to Me to is like Smile. Like when Smile, like in the beginning, like
Yeah.
the way it goes, it's creepy. Like I'm like, oh
It is,
shit, like
yeah.
how is this gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
How is it gonna end? That movie only falls apart at the end.
yeah,
Everything else about it and like sort of like
It's great.
kind of like the lore that we get.
Yeah,
it was
everything. It
great.
was great.
So like that's kind of like also where I can point
Yeah.
to and be like, well, this is a newer movie and it kind of it kind of
Yeah.
scared me, and like this is Talk to Me and like it really
It didn't
do
even get
any
that
of
for you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, because yeah, Smile, I think we had that at
It was-
8.5, 8.7 ish
it
in
was
that
up there.
area,
Yeah,
and it's because it fell off at the ending there.
yeah, exactly.
What's your number 4?
My numero 4 is Air at a 8.9.
That's so high.
It was-
You're such
well,
a you're a
sneakerhead.
fan.
Well,
You're
when
a
you
fan.
like when you actually watch the movie, how many things that can you actually pull out of it and say that was actually a mistake, that
decision?
was a bad decision?
Oh, almost none.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's rooted in like history, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
But-
and the way they portrayed it was entertaining and
Exactly.
like factually correct and like whatever. Like you're no issues.
And
Right.
like and like they could totally do like a sequel if they
Yeah.
wanted to, because there is a little bit more controversy that happens once Jordan's with them.
Yeah.
So if they did, they wanted to, they could do that. I thought the acting
And-
was great, the writing was great,
Mm-hmm.
like the actual representation of the sneaker and like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like culture of sneaker and like
Yeah.
the history behind the
Mhm,
sneaker was
mhm.
like phenomenal. I thought
Yeah.
it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was really enjoyable to see like a movie kind of layered and based in like sneakers and like it's inspirational, like as you said.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good movie. That's why I have it rated at 8.9.
I think the biggest thing for me, from what I learned from that movie also, was just them putting all their eggs in one basket with Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was something that you didn't really
It was
understand.
like a Hail Mary play.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're like, damn.
Like seeing all the behind the scenes of what went into that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was great. Like the
Oh, for
reason why it's
sure.
in my honorable mentions is just me not being a sneakerhead and not really like that, not really being my niche.
Yeah.
Like,
is
I'm not
why-
a sneakerhead either.
Well, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying that's why it's not in my top 10.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at, right? Because I have that as a 8.5. I just
Mhm.
had like the creator was a shittier movie right,
Yeah.
in terms of my rating,
Yeah.
but it's just something that like personally, that's something that I enjoyed more was them getting me into that fantasy world.
Okay, fair.
Right.
My number 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Number
John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
four.
Would you rate it out of 10?
Like an 8.9.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about John Wick, so.
Yeah, we do have a review on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
Number 3.
My number 3. So, number 3 and number 2 I think are interchangeable for me.
Okay.
But so they're pretty much the same rating.
Okay.
I'd go Godzilla -1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were
Would you rate it?
I give it like a 9.
What issues
Cool,
did you
cool.
have with it?
The only like
Why isn't it a 9.9, 10?
like a 10? Well, like first of all, 10's like hard to give out.
Yeah,
right.
to any
but-
movie.
To any movie, like I think 9 is fair because I've only watched it once.
Sure.
Okay.
And I feel like if I watch it another time, then I can give it like a fair assessment of like.
They're coming out with a black and white version, and
Yeah,
that might
I'm
add to
aware.
like
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
intensity of
The thing is like
Godzilla.
I'm sure this is like in his
Yeah.
coming up things as well. So like I'll wait till he brings it up.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
I'll
we can talk
speak,
more
I'll
about
speak
it.
more
Okay,
on it.
okay.
Yeah. And then that was my number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Your number 3.
My number 3 is Barbie.
Okay, word.
Barbie is so high up there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's a good movie.
It is
Like
a- it is
again,
good.
with
Mhm.
like the same thing I
It-
said with like Air. There's
Yeah.
really not that. Barbie has probably a little bit more that you can pull out of it, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of like things and like themes that like mean a lot, especially to like, like I know it's very catered to females,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but like as a dude, like
It's a one of a
I can
kind.
appreciate
No,
that
100%.
like
100%.
something was created to this level with this sort of
Thought and
this
care.
this idea that it's like a Barbie movie, but the
Mhm.
thoughts and all the themes that go behind it that are a lot more deeper than just Barbie is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
crazy,
No,
And
that's
it's
true.
relevant to everyone.
and it's relevant to
Mhm.
and like you said, in terms of test of time, I feel like you're right. Like if
Yeah.
you're a child watching it, if you're in like your teenage years
Yeah.
or you're an adult, you can really like follow Barbie and like get
Yeah.
new meaning out of it nearly every time that you watch it. So
Mhm.
I think like a
Yeah.
9's really fair.
I agree. That's cool. I think like with Barbie and what is it? It's like Super Mario Bros. Personally, just being
mhm.
as like something like you grew up with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Both those movies being in my top 10 is like it's like how strong those movies were as like a it's one of a kind, like the way they did it.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah.
like you almost have to buy it just because of like they couldn't have done it like any better.
right.
the way that
right,
they did
right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even though like Super Mario Bros. Doesn't have like any of the deep meaning like that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's like pure like childhood like nostalgic like enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
So
So you're number 3.
this is where I had John Wick for.
Okay. whatever.
Okay.
My top 5 was like untouched.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Except I put Godzilla -1, I think, at
Yeah,
number
yeah.
5,
Yeah, yeah.
and before I had Barbie at 5. So
Yeah.
like, but other than that, like my top 5 was untouched from like
Okay.
like this shit was just crazy.
All right. So you're number 2.
But hold on, John
Oh,
Wick.
sorry.
John Wick 4.
What would you rate it? What would you rate it out of
Yeah.
10?
What do you want to?
I give it a 9.5.
Holy
I would even
fuck.
give it a 9.6
Yeah. Okay.
because I did have a chance to watch it again,
Okay.
Okay.
right? So I probably watched it 3 times this year actually.
That's wild.
Jeez.
Because I watched it once. We watched it in theaters.
Yeah.
Watched it when we came back from on the flight back from Japan.
Yeah.
And then I watched it like once I got the steelbook.
Mm,
Right. All times on every time it was just, oh my god, it's crazy.
He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
nutting on his
Yeah.
TV
Literally,
screen.
yo,
Yeah.
'cause-
I was sitting next to him in Japan. His hand was under his blanket.
yo. No man, but it was just like you would think that like, the novelty might wear off after like those watches,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right? But every time like the fights were just insane. And like
Mhm.
again, the only issue was the stair scene,
Yeah,
but that's only enough for me to knock it like to 9.5.
that's true.
Because otherwise it would have been like a 9.9 movie for
Yeah.
me. And like
Mhm.
even with the blind guy, I forgot his name now.
Yeah, yeah. His Danny Yang. That's his character.
forgot-
That's
Donnie?
his actor. Donnie Yang.
I think I forgot his
Donnie
name.
Yang. Yeah,
Yeah, I love him from all the Ip Man
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's
yeah, yeah.
so
Would
like
you say you're more of a Ip Man bot than a Snyder bot?
I'm not a bot. Bro.
He's a bot.
I'm a person.
He is a bot.
I'm a living.
Guys, he's not
person,
real.
bro.
He is AI.
Nah,
Right.
Ip Man was like,
That's why the creator was on his.
Yo,
Damn.
That's programmed to only like Zack Snyder movies.
fuck off. Yo.
Okay,
Anyways,
so you're number 2.
my number 2 is Spider-Man.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
I think with
okay.
like I can say that what they did with the Spider-Man movie, no other movies ever touched in terms of animation.
That's true.
Like their
That's
shit,
true.
it was just, and like I can understand like how hard it is
Yeah.
to even like do what they did with
Mhm.
each frame.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was just sitting there like in awe the whole movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then to also have like just such a great storyline taking place.
Mm-hmm.
That like the ending that you were mentioning
Mm-hmm.
almost like did nothing to me for
Mhm,
this
mhm.
movie, because I'm
Fair.
not, I don't care about like the part 1 part 2s aren't a big deal to me. Like with
Mhm.
Mission Impossible Part 1, it still felt like a really good full whole
Just
movie.
the only thing I wanted to say about Spider-Man is like what didn't make sense, right? Is like the Spider-Verse started from the first movie, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he entered the particle whatever thing, and then it created the Spider-Verse thing, right? So with Miguel's character, right? When he's creating this sort of like task force,
Yeah.
it seems as though it had been established for like mad long,
Yeah,
and he knew
yeah.
Peter B. Parker for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the events of the previous movie, it had only been a year. So like timeline wise, it
does-
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I
Well,
also agree with
because
that.
of
Right?
because
So-
of but because of
but-
how it affects like
but,
other universes.
Like that's what I was getting into. Is
Yeah.
that like because it's a multiverse movie, you can get away with like time flowing differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
like different universes and shit, right?
And knowing
Yeah.
that there's a third movie, they might actually explain that, like,
I don't think so.
because like you don't actually know if Miguel is actually a Spider-Man,
Well, he's not.
right? Like with his claws
Yeah,
and like
he's a-
whatever.
he's a-
Like,
he's a
he's the only
vampire.
one that doesn't look like a Spider-Man.
He's a vampire.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like there's so much in terms of Miguel's character to
Mhm.
still kind of go through in the third movie.
Yeah, yeah,
That it might make everything make sense, right?
yeah, yeah.
I
Because like you putting it in your second
slot.
slot, you think the movie was spotless?
But not just that, but just the things that I value out of the story is also better than like what I valued from the other movies.
Like I think another
Spotless.
I think another
I got
thing that
that,
you could kind of
but-
say about the movie though is like a lot of it, like if we're talking like on like a graph, like how
Yeah.
movies go, it's kind of like
Yeah.
it builds up, it hits its climax, and then it kind of like fades
yeah,
off,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
This one it kind of stays at a very consistent
Yeah.
line to me, like
mhm.
like that buzz and like that
Yeah,
hype
yeah.
I'm
about
watching
this
it the whole
movie.
time.
It stays like at this, and like I feel like that, but that doesn't help it because when you reach the end, it doesn't have that like kind of sort of fade off.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
You're
and that's-
still
and that's the
you're
issue that he's
you're
having.
at that
That's the-
high
yeah,
that
yeah.
whole time.
But
Mhm.
for me, like I'm having that high the whole time because of how drastically how they're changing the animation style from
Yeah.
things to things. And
Yeah, yeah.
like I watched it I think twice now,
Mm-hmm.
and both times like it was great. Like I like the only reason I have it over John Wick is because John Wick, that stair scene,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
literally the stair scene. Whereas with like Spider-Man, there's no one specific scene that's like, oh, this is a bad scene.
Mm-hmm.
There might be like you're talking about the Miguel's thing from like the first movie, like I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But then because we have another movie, like we don't really know if that's
Right.
even an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just like had they cut it like maybe 5 minutes shorter, it would have made it for a stronger ending.
No, I would have. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. But I think they left that for the next movie to be like,
Okay.
oh yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
You're number 2.
But I give it a
Oh, sorry.
9.8.
8. Crazy.
Whoa!
You're number 2.
Was this your Spider-Man's on a 9.8?
I might give it a 9.7, but that's like a.
Gosh, darn.
I don't see it
Louise,
dropping that hard.
jeez,
Yeah.
Louise, jeez, Louise, crackers and cheese, bro.
Yo, I mean we're comic book fans too, so it scratches that like itch.
It does. It does.
That the other,
Yeah.
especially because for something like Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the other Spider-Man movies that have been coming out, I guess, like with MCU,
Yeah.
haven't like they haven't been hitting like that.
No,
for
that's
me.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
So-
All right, you're number 2.
Drum roll, please. Godzilla -1.
Oh,
Damn,
interesting.
damn.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
2,
Wow.
not your number 1. You
Wow.
you horny ass Godzilla fan.
I don't want to hear it, but
You're a Godzilla
So-
bot.
you're
The
bot.
Godzilla stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, what's your rating first?
Yeah, sure. Go with
It's at
your
a
rating.
9.2.
9.2.
Okay. Just the Godzilla stuff that I wanted to talk about when I had rated
Yeah.
it was that the soundtrack was so fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like the way,
Banger.
like the way the orchestral music was coming in,
Yeah.
and like the build up
It
and the
added to
tension of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was like so in the movie. I was like, holy shit! Like I'm
Yeah.
there, you know.
Bro,
And the tragedy was done so well.
so well.
And like his entire character arc was so
So
good.
crazy.
That's what I
It's
mean.
the first
So I
time.
was like,
It's
yo,
the first time you have a really great fucking story.
Human
Yeah.
character
Yeah,
story
you
because
cared
like
about
in
him.
in like
Exactly.
so
You cared
many
about him.
Godzilla
Yeah.
movies that like they come out, they try to create like this these characters that you'll care about, like in
Mhm.
terms of the
Mhm.
humans,
But you don't.
but you never
No,
give a
no,
fuck
no.
about them.
Yeah.
But in this one, you're like, you want this character to win. You're rooting
Yeah.
for him. You're like, yo, fuck, Godzilla's a fucking menace. Fuck this fucking guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I hope
Godzilla's-
this guy wins.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
like it's a Godzilla movie, but like it's not like Godzilla just shows up at the end of the movie. Like he's
He's-
placed throughout the movie.
100%.
Yeah.
There's this overarching like fear of Godzilla.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't know what this creature is,
Yeah.
but you're part of this guy's like it's part of this guy's story and how he's trying to like survive Godzilla
Mhm.
Yeah.
essentially.
and like this takes place like after like the
World War II.
II. So like there's like they're like drawing off of that fear of like
history.
that history
Of,
that's
like, the-
happened to
yeah,
them.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's really cool to see the way that it's like layered out through the movie,
Yeah.
and then like that first like moment that like we get to see Godzilla on land and he's
Yeah.
walking through
The
Ginza,
camp. Yeah. Oh,
He's walking through
Any
Ginza.
hyper beams?
and he
Yeah.
hits him with that like his heat breath, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking
crazy.
nuke.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That
that's
shit
just
crazy.
that
slapped.
shot was
I
so
loved it.
sick.
I was
I
like,
love it.
Oppenheimer got nothing on a fucking yo.
That's why I thought it was gonna be higher for you, honestly.
No, but here's the thing, man. They were doing like this is where this is where it kind of drew me out is because they had like these almost like anime-esque things
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
He does his hyper beam. They have
Yeah.
people coming with radiation tests like this is fucking we're filled with radiation.
Yeah, yeah.
They even had black rain pouring down,
sure.
right? Which is something like from the Hiroshima
Yeah,
bombings
yeah,
that
yeah.
happened, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that shit was poisonous as fuck. Like
Mhm.
that was killing people.
Mhm.
This guy survived that.
Mhm.
He's in that like the main character. He's in that area. People are in that area,
Yeah.
and they're surviving like this like radiation poisoning they
Yeah.
should have been having.
But to be fair, we don't like this
The-
movie takes place like
Pretty
pretty
fast.
so you don't
Yeah.
like
he
especially
could've died
after like that
after.
rain like he
kind
could
of,
die.
but you do have like that kid like kind of growing up and stuff too, right? So
But
like
what, like
no,
the point of like when that
When
rain
that-
takes
yeah,
place,
she doesn't age much.
she doesn't age.
Yeah.
So it
Like,
takes
that's
place
like a
pretty
couple
back
months.
to
It's like a
back.
couple
but like
months,
something like
maybe.
radiation poisoning, like I feel like just having him like cough up blood and knowing that his time was kind of coming.
But see, the
things
thing
like
is,
this
that
little-
would have
this-
taken away from the fact that he was like trying to kamikaze himself.
Yeah, kamikaze.
I think he
himself.
should have
No.
kamikazed
But
himself.
if he was already, if he
You
was,
fucking
we
tragedy
know,
whore.
we know that. But if he was already dying, it would have taken away from the fact that that's what he
Well,
wanted to
yeah,
do.
Well, they
exactly.
could have shown it like later on in the film, not like
Well, at
do it
the
then.
end, there's like a sense of like I guess you could say hopelessness anyways.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the girl's neck, she has those like radiation poisoning like line
Yeah.
things on her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
you know
mean,
that like she's
not-
alive and she's back out of her coma, but she's probably dead in
But
the
yo,
next few months.
And that shot though.
But I think
too,
she should have died.
Okay.
she's dead anyway.
No,
Yeah.
but she 100% should have point blank died. I swear,
Sure.
like her body got like cut in half by like a cement block getting like hit by his hyper beam. Like that shit just cut her in half. Like the way it looked with her body, like she got ragdolled.
She got yeah.
She got
ragdolled,
ragdolled,
She got
bro.
ragdolled, yeah,
Like
she did
you're
get
not
ragdolled.
telling me she survived that.
Yeah. No, that's
and
fair.
that's what I didn't
But-
like.
but
Like I was
the-
just like, man.
The shot at the end was so fire. Like where it's like the spin around with like Godzilla about to do his little hyper beam.
Bro, and he's like
When he's in-
hunched
when he-
over,
yeah,
mouth
Yo,
yeah.
fire!
Yeah.
His
That
eyes
scene
were
was
lit
so
up, and then he
sick.
freezes, and
Everything-
he
Yeah.
freezes like that.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Oh
Everything-
my
yeah.
It was
goodness!
sick.
Because like he was about to hit the hardest.
Bro,
like
Yeah.
Literally, those
he was
two.
about to bomb it. Like
He was about
fuck.
to become Moses. He was about
No.
to split the
No,
the
he
sea.
was.
Yo, he was,
He
yeah.
was. Out. Fuck that! Like
that was hard.
you were so ready to see it happen and then not happen, but you were like
Yeah.
either way is great.
No, it
either
was
way you're
great.
like that's
Yeah.
fucking great. But
So-
that's why I couldn't put it.
and
that
like
high,
the
though.
and the kamikaze scene, like the
Mhm.
like so like why it's not like rated higher for me. Like of course it's a scene of like the girl surviving.
Yeah.
But like I guess they give you like that sense of hopelessness because she is gonna die eventually. Same thing you could say about the
Yeah,
guy.
but
Yeah.
at that point,
Um,
like they should have just killed her though. Because why have her come back?
Just enough
just-
of a happy ending, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Like
But-
that's why I felt like it felt forced.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like that's why it's like
Yeah.
not higher, right? It was that one, and then of course it was like the mechanization. Like there
Yeah.
was like the one shot, and like for me it was only the time when he was on the flatland
Yeah.
walking through like the villages
Yeah.
where it
I
looked
saw
kind
it
of bad.
I think I saw like
Yeah.
I probably saw it like 3-4 times in the film.
But I see. I thought that was on purpose.
It is on
c-
purpose.
it is on
because-
purpose
because
it's
they
the
want to
original.
call back
yeah,
to the original.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
you can't even like.
But no. But like the reason
like-
reason why I'm like pointing it out to
Yeah.
being a bad thing is because it just looks so awkward
Yeah.
when he
Yeah,
was
that's what
I'm
walking
saying.
through like
Right.
flatland.
Because
Right,
you're
right.
going from like this
Like
guy
when he
being-
went to go when he was using the plane
Yeah,
to bring
yeah.
him like
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
looked weird.
Because it's going from being like this.
The scaling just gets
We don't know what this like living organism is. But then as soon as you see that, I'm like, okay, now he looks mechanized. That's the issue I was having. I like that it was like a nice mesh of the original and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
newfound like type of stuff, right? But just the fact that if it draws you out, it draws you out, and
Mhm.
you're just like, man.
So my number 2, Oppenheimer.
Shut up, man.
The deuce that had
Shut
to be dropped, bro.
up, dude.
The deuce that had to be dropped.
It's staying at number 2.
You're
bro.
whack.
Sheesh.
That's crazy.
What do you mean I'm whack?
What are you rating it?
Why
Give
are
me your
you
rating.
why are you so like, oh, yo, get the
No,
fuck out
'cause
my face.
what are you rating it?
What did I give? I said I give it a 9 as well.
A
Same
9?
with Godzilla. I was like, yo, Godzilla's a 9. Give this a 9 as well.
So none of the movies this year like got that high up for you guys, huh?
No,
Not really.
Like nothing above a 9.5.
no.
Just
That's
maybe
crazy.
potentially one. We'll see.
Yeah, that's wild.
Coming soon to theater near you.
Okay, what's your number
What's
one?
your number one then?
Fucking.
The Iron Claw.
You're
What?
fucked.
You know what?
You're the
I'll
tragic
put you
whore.
respect.
You're the
You
tragic
put,
whore.
you put Godzilla
Yeah.
and Iron Claw up there. I can respect it.
I kind of don't respect
I can
it.
respect it. You
Yo.
know what? Dap me up one more time. That's like a
Yo.
double dap. You know what I mean?
Yo, so Iron Claw. I know you didn't like the movie.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Okay, it's just the thing is the thing with Iron Claw was it was like, and I told you I was like, Iron Claw was the movie. If Barbie was made for girls,
This was made for guys.
this was made for guys.
100% I agree with you.
Like the whole
And
like
I
the
would
whole
agree with that.
aspect of like guys not showing their
their
emotions,
mental health, their emotion.
everything, and this movie
And like
does
if
that
you go talk to somebody, it's just like, yo, like hide it, don't talk to
Exactly.
anybody.
Like,
Or like
when
you're
you-
going to
exactly.
talk
when
to
you-
your brother.
exactly,
when
bro.
you made that connection,
yeah,
like I felt better about the movie. But the one thing of how it's not like Barbie is because you're not about to show this to your kids
no,
because of how much tragedy there is. And at that point, it's not serving the same purpose that Barbie would have.
Well,
no, you can
so
still.
so if this was a censored version and it wasn't R-rated, you could show it to your kid.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's an
But that's
R-rated
why you
film.
can't say like this
So, like,
is meant for
yeah.
like the people that grew up and like still
That's what I mean.
still
It's
have
for,
some
it's for
and
today's
still have
mental health. It's-
some healing to do.
No, it's for like
You know,
guys today who like need this support for like mental health and stuff.
but that's
Yeah,
why
I
it's
agree.
not.
Like any sort
No,
of
no, I
like,
feel you,
dude, you know what I
100%.
mean? Like you have
100%, I'm
literally
agreeing.
like their dad is pushing so much stoicism. He's like, yo, you don't show your emotion.
Yeah.
You don't do shit.
I got
He's like
that.
shoving them down, and then that sort of like causes all
Mentality.
of them to self
Yeah.
destruct.
But
Right?
but hold on,
Yeah.
you were saying this is like the guy version of Barbie.
Yeah.
Whereas
I mean, I'm not saying bar for bar, bro.
but what I'm saying is
like yo.
but what I'm saying is in
Yeah.
terms of what you take from the film,
Yeah.
Barbie didn't even touch your top 10.
No, I know.
Right.
I forgot it came out this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
I forgot it came out this year. So then when you guys started bringing it up, I was like, fuck.
where
So that's all me.
would you have rated it?
If I didn't forget about
Within your top 10, what number would it have taken?
it, probably like number 6 or yeah, no, like 5, like no, sorry, 7, 6, somewhere there.
And it would have pushed out whatever your number 10 was.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot that. Like,
Yeah.
then you guys start talking about it. I was like, yo, it's too
Yeah,
late.
that's
I'm
fair,
already,
that's fair,
I'm
that's
already in
fair.
here. And no,
Yeah.
and the thing is, like for me, when I was watching the movie, right, there was like so many elements of like, because everything the dad did was out of like fear, right?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you have the beginning scene, he's like, yo, like I need to provide for my family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I need
a
to make
very
sure my
American
family's-
view.
He's
Yeah.
not even that, but it's a very guy
Guy
view.
Yeah.
Like a guy's like, yo, I need to protect my family. I need to make sure we're doing enough, right?
Yeah.
And like keep striving to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
like better and better to this point.
Yeah.
And like so all of his decisions were made out of fear, and then he kind of like gave those same
Yeah.
fears to his kids,
His kids. Yeah.
right? And then like that's the whole thing that me and you were having this conversation about was like when Carrie, right? So first, like when David dies,
Yeah.
right? David dies because like he had like the stomach issues or whatever, and
OD'd.
well he didn't OD'd. He had his intestine ruptured, and he died in Japan.
Oh wait, so this was a thing that I think you sent me. So people that were there, like
Yeah.
the wrestlers that were there,
Yeah.
say that like he OD'd. He
Oh,
like, it was
okay,
just
okay,
'cause of
okay.
his stomach
There's like
issues.
some
Right,
conspiracy
right.
there.
Yeah.
But like anyways, on the day of Kevin's wedding is
Yeah.
when Kevin notices it and he like tries to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something, and right there they both have a moment when he's like, yo, like you shouldn't go to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they both
They laugh at it 'cause
because they like
they
they
know
know
that's
they
not a-
can't disobey their dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
They
and
know
then,
it's not
and
an
then
option.
like he probably knew that he was dying, but he still went through with it anyways, which
Yeah.
ended up leading to him dying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then like the next like within the next 2 years, because Jugad had clarified the timeline for me, Carrie is the one who gets chosen over David.
So
Right? Sorry.
that I would
You were talking
I'll
about
talk about it, but like first the movie condenses the timeline.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So
okay,
like so
okay.
in the movie, whatever you perceived is what you perceived.
Okay.
I'll talk about what I talk
Right,
about
okay.
after.
So in the movie it seemed like it was within like the same year that like because as soon as he dies they're like, yo, show no emotion,
Yeah.
and then right away he's like, yo, who's bringing the belt home? Like
Yeah,
he literally
yeah.
like, you just lost a son,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't give a fuck, you're so focused on your goal
Yeah.
of the heavyweight champion that you're like, yeah, like who's next? And instead of David, Kerry gets picked, right?
Yeah.
So Kerry finally wins, right?
Instead of,
And
no, Kevin. Instead of Kevin.
yeah,
Kerry.
Kerry wins. I said Kerry wins,
You
bro.
said David.
you said
You said
David.
David and Carrie.
Oh, my fault. It was Kevin and Kerry, right?
Yeah.
Then Kerry wins the world champion, and it doesn't show him win. Like it shows their mom watching
Yeah.
the TV, and on the stairs you have David.
David. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Kevin.
And whoever died, because
No,
she turns
it was,
back.
It was Michael. Wasn't
No,
it?
no,
I thought Michael
no,
was sitting
no,
Oh no,
no.
you're right. You're right.
It was
No,
David?
It was David.
David,
Because when
it
she
was
turns
David.
back,
He's
he's
not there anymore.
there.
That's what I was kind of tripped. I was like, who was that? 'Cause I
No,
thought
so
it was Michael
David.
sitting
No,
there.
no, it was David.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you're right,
like
you're right,
he
you're
like
right.
won in honor of his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
right?
You're right.
And the thing is, like, the way I had seen it was Kerry was like the reason why he even wanted to be the heavyweight champion
Yeah.
was like, one, he had just lost his brother, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, like if I win this, it'll fill this void in my heart,
Yeah.
right? So he wins. The void isn't fulfilled.
Yeah.
So he goes on the bike ride.
Yeah.
And on the bike ride, he was attempting to commit suicide.
Oh.
That's how he
Because
looked
yo,
at it,
that's
but
that's
not
how
saw
I had
it.
seen it. I was like, yo, like he literally is like, he's on the bike, he's like crying and shit, right? And like the way I had seen it, I was like, yo, he wanted to die then, because he like
And
was,
he just fucked up.
he like didn't succeed, right? And then he gets like dismembered and everything, right? And like the way everything affected Kevin too, like the entire movie, he doesn't cry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he finally lets go of
Yeah.
wrestling,
Like he was just sitting there,
and
just
with
he's
the boys.
crying with
watching his
yeah,
kids.
yeah. And bro, the thing is, I'm watching the movie, and like the scene where not when Kerry dies, but when their youngest brother dies,
Yeah.
bro, that shit hits so hard because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like one, the coma fucked him up, right?
Yeah.
Like he was not all there,
Yeah.
and it was when he realized that he could no longer play his music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he's like, yo,
For
like
sure, 'cause what
this
he
is not the
what he
life
had
for me.
left to live for.
Exactly. And I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm there, and I'm like, bro, yo, I'm a damn near tear up. Right?
No, for real.
But I'm
though.
like watching it,
Yeah.
and then as I'm watching the movie, he's not tearing up, and I'm trying not to tear up
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on?
No, for real. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, fuck.
No,
like this string just
100%
hit, like,
feel that.
it just hit the nail on the
it-
head, you know? I was like,
I
oh,
feel
fuck.
that for real though.
Yeah, and so like that's why the
But like it's like that
yeah.
gratification's like at the end, it's like one you get to see him like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like finally respond to his dad, and like
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
him like choking him out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then two,
Break
it's like
free
when
of
he's
that iron claw.
yeah, exactly. And
But-
when he's sitting
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and he's just like watching his kids cry, or he's crying watching his kids play, and his kids finally come and they finally
He's
hit him
like,
with like
"We'll
what
be
he
your
needed to
brothers."
be here.
He heard,
Well,
yeah.
He needed to hear that. Like,
Yo,
look,
it's
man,
okay, yeah.
everybody cries.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay to cry.
And then
yeah,
they
yeah.
hit him with like, look, we'll be your brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
all those things, just like,
It was nice.
It was
Fuck.
so
It
nice,
was just-
bro. And the thing is, like,
and I'm just like sitting there crying, like,
yo,
I'll be your brother too.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then the other thing is, like, it was because they were all being pushed to the point where they were like never enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when he finally let go and he was like content with being who he was,
Yeah.
he was finally enough.
Yeah.
So this is
I
it's
would've-
a huge mental health movie.
I
You know
would
what
I
I'm
would-
saying?
I agree.
I would have
Yeah.
potentially replaced Guardians of the Galaxy with this movie.
Okay, word.
Would have. There's just a couple issues I had with the movie.
What do you have, bro? What are your
So like,
issues?
I didn't care when David died.
Okay.
He like they didn't I feel like they didn't like if they just made the movie like a little like 30 minutes longer,
Yeah.
they could have spent that time developing some of the other brothers. I know Zac Efron's character was like the main focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like the one that survives and he's
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
dealing with everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, you see David like at the wedding and stuff. But when his death gets off screen,
Yeah.
and at that point, like you're not really feeling much about it because you didn't really get to know his character that
Yeah.
well
Yeah. Yeah.
leading up to it, right?
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, you kind of do know his character.
kind of, but like okay,
Because he's like.
but the way Mikey's death hits, his
Yeah.
death fucking hits because
Yeah.
you know from the beginning like he wants to do music.
Like, he's soft.
You know their dad fucking like bitches at him the most,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's true.
And like when he goes to commit suicide, like he goes takes a bunch of drugs and then he
Yeah.
takes a sleeping bag, and you can
Yeah. Yeah.
see it all kind of happening.
Yeah.
Whereas David's was like, it was like abrupt and just like, you know, you don't really see like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
saying in terms of like, because I know nobody actually communicates in their family.
Yeah.
but
no one
like-
did, yeah.
But like visually, you could tell from like Zac Efron's face, from Mikey's face, like how they felt about situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where David's face, like you weren't seeing any of that.
No, you do actually, because there's a scene where because like I was like looking more into the movie after
Yeah.
we watched it, right? And they're saying how like the way it was being filmed was like anytime the dad, I think Fitz is his
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
was on screen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they all had to act a certain way.
Yeah.
And as soon as he left, the
They
tension
would
left,
yeah,
and then they
they
could
change.
change
They
up.
could
Yeah.
change,
So then
And
like
that's
you
something
see
that's something
their
saw-
emotion, you
That's
see their
something you
emotion a
saw through the
lot.
movie, but like I'm saying David, like everyone else, you saw that like very like easily. But
You see it with
but
David too.
like,
When Carrie's like, yo, when Carrie comes back from being a like Olympian or whatever,
Yeah.
and then their dad's like, yo, you're gonna be the next wrestler,
Yeah.
and then they all get like happy. But even though like that's what's fucked too, he's like, yo, I never want anybody to be a wrestler, and he's fucking pushing all of them into wrestling.
yeah,
yeah.
he's,
You know what I
he was
mean?
very
And
hypocritical about
the thing
shit.
is
Yeah.
like, there's a scene like so. One scene I just really wanted to talk about was when they all three of them start wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And they like all three of them like dive onto the stage, and they all just start like decking the dudes.
yeah,
Yeah. So
That's
that yo
Wumble
that the camera angle on that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like the camera angles for this movie was directed
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I will say that like the look at wrestling
Yeah.
that you don't normally get to
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
was really good because
Yeah.
when you see Zac Efron first hit the pavement
Mm-hmm.
and he's
He's
having
like-
trouble breathing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it shows that like these guys need to know how to do their stunts properly.
Right. Right.
And like I mean I've seen clips of like wrestling stunts gone wrong
no 100%.
where it like either like fucks like puts people into like the hospital
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they need to know. And like I like the way that girl Pam when she's like it's all fake, right? And
Yeah.
he's like no it's not.
Yeah.
And when they're doing their fights and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna become like a world champion, like
Yeah,
heavyweight
yeah.
champion
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. It kind of shows that like like they have like a script,
Yeah.
But there's like
But-
politics and
but-
stuff. that
Yeah.
plays
not
into
not
it.
even just the politics, but like their body needs to be prepared to handle
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything, any stunt that happens, because
Yeah.
sometimes like shit can just happen on the fly,
no 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
and if they're not like
Prepared,
prepared as like
yeah.
a stuntman,
yeah.
like they're clearly not gonna win.
No 100%.
Like
Yeah.
they're like they need to have
Yeah.
that endurance to make it through to the end to actually become the winner,
So
right?
so
So
that's
I thought that was really cool. the way
so
they
like
did
that scene where they did that, right? And you kind of get like a montage, and then after you see it's all three of them are sitting on a bench, right? And it's when their dad comes in, and instead of Kevin being the one, that's when he chooses David over Kevin.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So but prior to that scene,
Oh yeah, sorry.
you see all three of their faces,
Yeah.
and they're all three of them are like kind of on like
they're like what the
superimposed on top of each other,
yeah.
and they're all reeling through some shit,
Yeah.
like emotionally and
Yeah, yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
But then they're sitting next to each other, not saying a single
Nothing
thing.
single thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, bro, that's like the essence of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Right?
for real it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that camera angle, like from the top, and you see like how it's affecting Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just one other thing I wanted to say was like the ref
Yeah.
in the film, he actually refed
Yeah.
the real wrestlers, like
Okay.
like
Sheesh.
Yeah, so-
Kevin Von
Eric.
Von Ver,
Von Erich.
Von Erich.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was actually like the ref for him back in that time, and they had him
Oh,
come in
that's
and
sick.
be the ref for this movie.
That's
sick.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple things I want to talk about was Carrie
Yeah.
when he's doing his motorcycle scene.
Yeah.
I didn't like that it just went to black. Like it's showing him like crying on the motorcycle, close up of his face.
Yeah. But
And
you
then-
see
and then
a
it
car
goes to
coming
black.
at him, bro.
No, because
You see the headlights coming at him, bro.
he was saying you could see headlights
in
on
the
the
distance,
street.
you can
You can see headlights on the street
in the distance.
and the road
yeah.
going towards him.
Yeah.
But like I didn't see that. I just saw him empty road, just him going,
Mm-hmm.
and then it shows his face,
Yeah.
and then it just cuts to black.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way it just cut to black like that. Like I feel like we should have sat with him for a bit, riding on that motorcycle or something, and then in the actual like timeline, like real events of what happened, his fight of when he wins the championship for David
Yeah.
is 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were having this conversation where I was like, "Yo, this guy had a couple drinks. He's off this high of winning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
His Kevin just let him go on a motorcycle ride, and he was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, be safe."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like he's drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But it's a
Rega-
different era.
Different
I know,
era,
I know,
yeah.
I know, and I get that,
Yeah,
and I get that.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
was just like, if that's your brother, like, are you really just gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, just go
No, 100%.
on a
100%.
motorcycle, regardless?
No. I
Like,
mean,
it just like,
yeah.
that's how
Maybe
they're,
back in that day.
and that's
back
how
in
they're,
that
and then
day,
like,
though,
yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
hard to say like how
Yeah.
you would
because they
appro-
doctors at one
but-
point were telling you to smoke cigarettes. You
but
know what I
with-
mean? So
but
you
with-
can't like.
but with a family that's like had a death already,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the film showing that David's death just happened,
Yeah.
wouldn't you be more like controlling? Like, wouldn't he be more of a protective brother figure because a
But
family
that's
member
also
just
like
died?
the emotion thing. Is
But
like
what-
if
but-
he starts doing that, it's like then he's just showing emotion of like
Yeah.
worry and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Which he's not supposed to.
yeah.
Like
That's
as
fair,
a
yeah.
guy, right? And that was the thing.
But that was the issue I was having though, because I
Yeah.
was just like, when a close family member dies, you usually like you tighten up. You're not gonna right? Like you,
But like with that family, like it's like a different thing though. With that family, there really isn't a tightening up between those people.
It's like
Yeah.
you
'Cause it's
stay-
like, yo, shut the fuck up. Put your emotions away. We're gonna stay the same way that we are.
Yeah.
like yo, like
But so in real life,
Yeah.
having that be 2 years after though was kind of that's where I was like, okay, like the suicide shit that Jotic was saying
yeah,
Yeah.
was something that he was seeing.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's
yeah.
not something that was actually like
Happened.
how
Yeah.
it was happening.
Yeah.
He just ended up having an accident afterwards,
right.
and his leg didn't actually get amputated till after. So he actually didn't lose his leg like right then and there
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the
Okay.
accident. It was
Yeah.
afterwards that they.
I
took it
thought
off.
like for some reason
So-
when they showed him, I thought it was a dream sequence. At
Yeah.
that time when they were showing him without the leg.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
when he got
low-key
up.
thought it was a dream
Oh yeah,
sequence.
no,
No.
for real.
No,
I
I
thought it was
I knew
low-key.
when he woke up, I was like, this guy's probably in a wheelchair or he's missing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he woke up, I was like, yeah, like.
But that's what I
he-
mean. Like
'cause
everyone.
I knew it was gonna be a
Yeah.
tragic film, and I was like,
yeah, yeah.
I know shit just went down.
But like every one of their brothers was like missing something.
yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
and I kind of didn't like, not that it's a bad thing. Like obviously, like it makes sense, but I didn't like how like basically all the deaths were, or like those two deaths, like David and Carrie, were off screen.
Yeah.
Not that
Carrie's was like
it was just black screen, man, and I didn't.
he
it
didn't
was so
die off
abrupt.
screen, bro.
No, I know, but okay, no, but
He
you.
died. We
Sorry,
talked
sorry,
about when he died.
Sorry, but sorry, that's not what I meant. But
Yeah,
but you know
yeah.
what? But you know what I meant though. Like
yeah.
like that's like the catalyst of like
Everything else.
where it started,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, no,
I didn't
no.
like how those things happened off
Mhm.
screen.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes sense though if you want like to not have like some graphic shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But in real life, when Carrie actually
Yeah.
like shot himself,
yeah.
you know how Kevin calls his dad,
Yeah.
and his dad's like, "Yo, it's issue between you and your brother."
Yeah. And he goes to
That's
work
not what
anyways,
happened.
like a fucking dumbass.
So in real life, that's not what happened.
yeah.
His dad was like working on like pavement, like the
Mhm.
sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in the middle of like pouring the concrete.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when he called, he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna call you right back. Like I'm just in the middle of something." Like he didn't even like. He was like, he didn't have
Yeah.
time to talk to him.
Yeah.
When he ends the call, in that moment before he had a chance to call him back,
Yeah.
is when Carrie comes home, grabs the gun, kills himself, and that shit happens. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't really like the dad's fault for not paying
Yeah.
attention. He was just preoccupied with
Well, it
something.
definitely is
He
his
didn't even
fault.
like
You
Kevin
know, it
didn't
is
get the
his
chance to
fault,
like
but it is his fault.
like.
though.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they're obviously like
Like, you know how
they're
fucked that- like,
dramatizing it a little
you know how
bit,
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
that
adding their
scene
flavor
was?
to it because like obviously he was like the root cause of
But
all
like,
their
you know how
deaths.
fucked that scene is, bro? Like
It
he
is.
found his brother and he's carrying his body into
Oh
the
yeah,
house.
it's the house.
Like, that's so fucked. Like especially like that's the whole thing. Like his whole like big brother thing, and he's like trying to protect people.
So Kevin didn't actually find Carrie's body.
Okay, but I mean in the movie, we're talking about the movie.
I know. I just wanted to
Okay.
talk about the real
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
real quick.
yeah, yeah.
But they have a sixth brother that didn't get included in the film,
yeah.
Oh.
and that's because the director felt that there's too much tragedy happening. He like it was just he's like, no, it's fucked. It's
Oh, the
crazy.
sixth brother also died.
So the sixth brother is his name's Chris.
yeah.
He's the one that shot himself, and Kevin found his body.
Oh.
He didn't find Carrie's body first.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think they kind of just meshed it into
Yeah.
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
one.
Well, because
Mm.
their oldest brother Jack Jr. died too.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
died. He died from like, it was like I guess kind of getting like electrocuted.
No
essentially.
way.
What the?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But no,
When he was,
like
5 years old.
I liked seeing how like because Kevin's whole thing was like, yo, I just want to be with my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after all
And
the
then having them all stripped away from him
and
one
they,
by one.
yeah, one by one, and then then he
Yeah.
just kind of throws himself, like, cause he's no longer staying at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's staying at the wrestling place.
Because they
And
thought
he's
of the
staying away from his
curse.
family.
And but well, one thing is I was thinking either like the curse.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking like, yo, what if that's the only place he feels safe and close to his brothers?
Maybe.
Because they used to
Maybe.
wrestle there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
Right?
but like,
And then you see he starts like going ham. He's throwing everything he has at wrestling,
Yeah.
and he realizes like, yo, I hate doing this shit. I
Yeah.
only love doing it with my brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's the whole like mental health aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like guys will go to the gym
yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll just fucking go hard at the
Yeah.
gym because they think
Yeah.
that's gonna help them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though gym is good for you should go
Go,
to the
Yeah.
gym.
go
But, like,
gym.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
That's the wrong message, man.
But you know what I mean.
No, I know. what
Like
you
the people that
mean.
do it to like a fault of like,
Yeah,
trying to like their body dysmorphia or whatever, just whatever they're trying to do. it
No,
for.
but his was like from like a
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
No,
it
yeah.
was a really good film, for
Yeah.
sure. It was just I personally felt like the one thing from the death to the next thing was like
Mhm.
it felt like right after another, just like
Yeah.
so quick and
Like-
forced almost.
Yeah, like you know when they all three of them like again go in and fight for the first time.
Yeah, that was great.
The song they use, the Tom Sawyer song
Yeah.
that Michael had picked out for them.
Yeah.
It was like
I
their
thought that was sick.
It,
I thought
yeah, that was sick,
yeah.
and it was their way of bringing him into the
Yeah.
wrestling ring without him actually being there.
Yeah,
You know?
and like Michael did end up doing wrestling, and then he broke his or fucked up his shoulder like on the road somewhere
Oh, like in real life.
in real life.
Yeah.
And then he did have it like that. Like he wasn't the same. Like they all like mentioned how he wasn't the same after that.
Yeah.
And then that he took his pills and took a sleeping bag and went out and like never saw him again
Yeah. Yeah.
and like all that. But like
So they never found the body.
they found no like they did.
Okay.
But
yeah,
like the way they said it was like they never saw him alive again
Yeah. Yeah.
after
Okay.
that. Yeah. But I didn't like the way they like this from like I guess from their family point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But like you saw that like he's weak and like he's in music. They're already
Yeah.
grown ass men at this point,
Yeah.
and they're gonna put him into wrestling now when he doesn't even have like the framework for it.
Mm-hmm.
That
No,
didn't
but
make
it was
sense to
it
me.
was their dad's goal. He's like
It was, yeah.
He's like I'll sacrifice anybody
And
for my goals.
And
That was
Michael,
essentially what
kind
he
of
was.
Yeah.
Michael says like, "Yo, I can't be David." right?
Mm-hmm.
But like Kerry had already won the championship thing.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, yo, like it already came into the family. So
Mhm.
why are they still pushing more into it?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't understand, right? And also, like the movie doesn't explain it, but like, who's the guy with the fucking Ric Flair?
Yeah. Ric
Yeah.
Flair.
They don't mention Ric Flair like when getting the championship back again.
They do.
He just kind of shows up and he has the
No,
championship.
they
back.
do. They do.
Cause I don't remember hearing that
They do.
when he just kind of shows up and he has the belt again, and then they're like, now you got to beat him.
No, cause hold on. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have the news because Kevin was supposed to fight the Holiday guy or Holger, whatever his name was,
The Hope, I think.
whatever his name was, like the,
Bob. No, I don't know.
whatever his name was, right? He was supposed to fight him, and that guy loses to Ric Flair. And
No,
then
that was
Ric
early
Flair
on. I'm
becomes
saying
the
after
heavyweight
Dave-
champion.
Because you know how
Yeah.
like so you know how Kerry fought him and got the heavyweight thing.
Mm-hmm.
Before I think it was after that he becomes a champion again.
Well, yeah,
But they don't-
because Kerry had to give it
but-
up because his leg.
But you know how like he became champion again,
Yeah.
and then Kevin fights him, and Kevin like gets
Iron-
disqualified for doing the Iron Claw for too long.
Yeah.
That I'm saying in that section, like they don't say that he's like the championship guy again, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a little, it's a very
That's
little
whatever.
thing.
Yeah, I know. I
But like
I love that
but
scene.
it was
though.
I was just like, how did this like when I was sitting there, I was like, how did
Yeah.
this guy
Yeah.
become a champion again?
Yeah. No, it's true.
They
I
didn't
mean,
ex-
it- yeah, like there's two scenes I want to talk about. One scene was like when he's like bouncing, like he's training, and it's just the camera, and the only thing in focus is the rope.
Yeah, and he's going back.
He's
and
going
forth.
back
Back
and
and
forth.
forth. Yeah, yeah.
That
Back and
scene was
forth.
sick.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the next scene, like I want to talk about, is when he grabs Ric Flair
Yeah.
and he's doing the Iron Claw. You can see in his face, he's like, yo, I fucking hate this shit.
Yeah.
I hate wrestling, and I fucking hate all this. I
Yeah.
want to take it out on you.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
to like get from the
y-
film.
That's so.
Like based on how you view it.
View
and
it. Like
whatever.
it was the whole thing. Like another message in the film was like, silent rage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's like essentially the entire movie is like
Yeah.
silent rage and then
Yeah.
like real rage, which we do see later on.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just silent rage.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is like it is very much like as you're saying, it's a mental health thing. But I feel like
Yeah.
it's very much because of like how we are like today.
Mm-hmm.
People are much more open, and being somebody who's like, if you are very expressive,
Mm-hmm.
it might not really hit as home as the way it does for other people.
But you
Right.
can't say that everyone's on the same page.
Of course. But
Right?
that's what
So-
that's
so,
what I mean
like-
is like what you take from the film is like
Yeah.
very much like how that's like helping you or putting into perspective for you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's again, it
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
it
I
is like
feel
an
like
earlier.
I feel like it also hits harder if you are an older brother too.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we can't relate.
Damn, he's saying he love you, bro. And you just sit
I
there,
can't
yeah,
relate.
word,
Yeah.
bro.
He's like word. Yeah. He's
Well,
like-
I
he's-
can't relate. I'm not an older brother. I can't relate. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Okay, so that's
Come
my
on.
number one.
What's your number one, bro? Because I think we have the
Bro.
same number
You guys
one.
both have the same number one.
Bro, it's the greatest movie of this year, man. Easily.
Oppenheimer.
Bromer or whatever.
Bromenheimer.
Bromenheimer.
So what do you guys rate it?
9.9.
I think I rated it at 9.7.
I would almost give it a
Damn.
10.
No, 9.7.
I would almost give it a 10. Bro, I watched it again.
Again.
I
and
wish I-
again.
I was,
and
who was I
again.
talking to? I was talking
and
to somebody
again.
yesterday. I was like, bro, if somebody kidnapped me and just let me watch Oppenheimer all day, I wouldn't even run away.
That's crazy. Hold on. Oppenheimer or Zack Snyder Justice League cut?
Oh, shit.
Like, which one would you rather be watching all day?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, okay. You're saying just Justice League?
Or
Or you're saying the trilogy?
there's no Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah,
just
okay.
Zack
And
Snyder
if it's just Justice League, then no. Like if it was a trilogy, then it's like that's 3 movies. Like I'd be down to watch that all day. Like Lord of the Rings, I'd be down to watch the whole like trilogy all day.
Mm-hmm.
But like Oppenheimer as like this the one film, yeah. I'm not running away, bro. Kidnap me.
There you go.
Yo, if you want to
kidnap him.
if you want to
You know
kidnap
what to
him,
do.
you know what to do.
Yeah.
He'll follow you into the truck.
Yeah, just be like,
willingly.
I got some Oppenheimer. in
Bro.
here.
Show him the
Well,
steelbook.
okay, 'cause,
Yeah.
like, you know, when you first watch it, you're like, I guess like you have like recency bias, and it's your
Right.
first time watching it, and like, you know, we came out of the movie, and people had issues of it being like, just literally just talking,
Too long.
Yeah.
or whatever.
dialogue heavy, just talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But when I watched it the second time, and after I'd done like the research of like all the different like creative things Christopher
Mhm.
Nolan had done,
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
watch it again. I'm picking up on all of that from the beginning of the film, going through it, and even just noticing the quick cuts that he's doing, because like for him to make the dialogue scenes seem like they're, I guess like energized
Mhm.
Yeah.
to keep you like into it. He's doing like these quick cuts back and forth. You're not just sitting on one scene for
Right.
so
right,
long
right.
and just sitting there like fuck,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, there's just the whole thing. It hit even better the second time from the first time that I watched the movie.
Mm.
So maybe that's because we were in like really shit like Cineplex
We were.
seats.
We were.
But yeah, oh my god, I don't know. I just
No,
the only
it's
reason
true.
the 9.9 is because like you can't give a movie a 10, I guess,
Mhm.
and I guess like we'll see if it continues to be a 9.9. but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I felt like there
Great
was,
movie.
Yeah, it was a great.
and
movie.
when we first watched it, some people were saying it was confusing, and I was just like, nah.
It's
but
so easy to follow.
yeah, so then
Mhm,
when I watched it the
mhm.
second time, I was like, no, like what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's nothing confusing about it, and like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think everything was just done tastefully.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Nothing to change about the movie, nothing to add. Like,
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
yeah. What about you?
What?
How would you rate like why did you have it at 2 and Iron Claw at 1?
Bro, you saw my rating, bro.
Yo, but like,
What?
but how did you like?
How to make the?
Well, I mean, I guess he could
Do you-
just like talk about, because like the more that's something that he might be a little bit more passionate about, with like that
Is it- is
emotions
it-
and
is
that
it
mental
that?
healthness
Mhm,
that like
mhm, mhm.
Like
he's
that
getting
hits
out
more
of
for,
Iron
yeah.
Claw, and like I
Yeah.
totally understand
That's
that,
fair.
because
Yeah.
like when I walked out of the Iron Claw movie, I was just thinking back, and I was like, holy fuck, like this is just
Yeah.
like this is a story just about guys and like, their
Yeah,
mental
The
health.
mental
Yeah.
health, yeah.
And their well-being of like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they react to emotional situations, and it's just
mhm.
like
Yeah.
it's nice to see that like it's being acknowledged more and more,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
especially with like you know, a lot, because it's being recognized more
Yeah.
people are being
Yeah, yeah.
open and forward about their emotions.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see that we're continuing to take those
You
steps
have
forward.
that, then you have the brothers aspect of it. And I was
No,
like,
Yeah.
of course.
I was
Yeah.
like, bro, this movie got me, bro.
You know, for real.
And me having the realization,
Yeah.
like in the movie theater, where I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to cry, and
Yeah,
the movie's
yeah,
saying
yeah.
don't cry, and
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the fuck's going on?
he's getting wombo
I'm
combo.
literally like, yo, I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
yeah.
I think had the movie been 30 minutes longer though, it would have secured a spot in my top 10, just based on that. Like as much as I love tragedies,
yeah, yeah.
I just think like they didn't let me revel in each tragedy.
Yeah,
If
he
that's-
wants
if
to
that's the
sit in
best-
tragedy.
That's the best way to word it.
Yeah.
He
That's
wants-
the
he
best
wants
way
to
to
sit
word
in
He
it.
wants to
He wants to
sit.
stew
He
in
wants
it.
to
Bro,
feel it.
Yo, this has nothing on Kuma's
He wants to.
backstory.
He,
is what
he
I'm
wants to.
saying.
He wants to slurp up the cum like Barry
Yo.
and Saltburn.
I don't know, man. Give me a director's cut of this.
Yeah,
Yo,
Yo.
God damn.
I think that's the end of our movie review.
Yeah, let us know what you guys thought about everything, about our top 10s. If you guys have a top 10, put it in the comments.
Maybe a
Uh,
movie we missed.
Yeah, if there's any movies you
A
missed,
movie we
'cause-
missed that we should check out if we
yeah,
hadn't checked it
100%,
out.
100%.
I know
So
I
the-
haven't seen Poor Things yet, so I really want
And
to check
Fallen
that out.
Leaves, or apparently that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so throw those in the comments. Go in our description. We have our TikTok and our Twitter, Instagram coming never. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and yeah, thank you
See
guys for watching.
Happy New Year.
Peace. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.